We are in the Tacoma Dome for the Night 1A State Championship game against the Meridian Trojans. We're going to get right after it because we got interviewed with legendary coach, Meridian coach Bob Ames that Mike did here just yesterday.
We may have to skip. It's about 12 minutes. So we're not going to get it all in, so I'm going to skip forward a little bit, try to pick up some of the better stuff towards the end.
All right,
let's get it going.
Okay, scheduled to talk with me.
I chase grandchildren, and so in that sense, you know, you got the quiet guy that just does his job.
44 years. Where are we at?
You know, I thought last year I was at 49.
Okay.
I didn't know math was going to be part of this job. And then my wife, who was a little better math student than I, said, no, that was 50. This is 51.
Okay.
I was at Mount Sinai for 7 years as an assistant with Ted Alexander there.
Okay.
And left and got this job, and then he went the next year down and was Sid's co-head coach in Tumwater until they just retired last year.
Gotcha. So all of your head coaching experience is at Meridian?
Yes. Nobody else would have me.
Well, okay. Fair enough. So over that course of time, obviously you've had success. You've had some up years, some down years. You've accumulated wisdom. But your players haven't been here before. So what kind of wisdom have you been able to impart to them this week in preparation for the big game coming up?
Not about wisdom. It's just, football season, we're touching the fifth month of football season. There's only 12 of us in the state that are doing that. And it's, we've talked a lot this week about enjoying the ride, focusing, we're playing a game, but, look around and see everything and remember that, I feel that we coaches, we're in the memory-making business because football's over on Saturday, regardless where you're at. But you have memories for the rest of your life. And so, just tell them what to expect when we get down in the big barn and what's going to happen at the end of the year. You want to spend time or into the game, you watch Royal get their first place trophy and we'll get our second and I think we're guaranteed a trophy. I'm not really sure. But then and as you experience, both teams are experiencing it with their teammates, and you have the gushing of emotion either way, and it's over, and you're hugging, you want a chance, and all of a sudden you got these guys with squeegees basically that are pushing you off, and you kind of have to do that to stay on schedule. But from a kid and a coach's perspective, it's like, well, let us have some time. Then you get over the ground course, you think, well, now we're going to go. Okay, here we go. And then the guys do the squeegees turn the corner, and you're basically pressed either out the door or into the locker rooms or back up to the stands. And, just to have them realize that, don't take anything for granted. Look around, understand, and you can phone, take as many pictures as you want, just as long as you don't take it out on the field. It's memories.
Yeah, I think
just my humble opinion.
Yeah, I think both teams are going to be relishing, obviously, the weekend, regardless of the outcome. And you're right. There's brotherhoods and relationships that have been built, and that'll probably never be the same after the game tomorrow. So
exactly
one way or the other. So, hey, I'm looking forward to a great game. Despite I know your propensity to kind of downplay things, it's going to be a great game. The two teams I think that have been on a collision course. Maybe other teams didn't know it, but I think that these two teams had a good sense that they were a bit of a collision course. Any parting thoughts you want to leave us with, Coach?
Just, how much I respect everything Wiley does. Again, having an opportunity. Everybody is, you should go to Eastern Camp. But Royals there, and they kick everybody's tails, and they make everybody else better. And then 2006, it was a great game that either team could have won. And then having a opportunity. I mean, Wiley just turns up a lot of the clinics that we're at. So we're able to sit down and visit. And, we talked about the direction our programs are taking. He was really concerned that he wasn't getting, a lot of kids out. We weren't. We aren't now, but I see by his roster that they're loaded with lots of participants. And so he's been able to weather whatever storm that was going on and be a good game. They have the ability to really stress you when they're on defense. I haven't right now. We haven't played them. I put them up in like one of the top 4 or 5 teams that we played that have great defenses. Royal in 2006 that we played. Cascade Christian in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Baker 5 years ago. Linden Christian 2000, and now these guys. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do to us, and we'll try not to let that happen, but it will. And when it's all over, I'll be able to sit down and watch what they do and say, yeah, those guys are really good, and they're exceptionally well coached. And I hope we can stress them a little bit. So either both teams will be able to show their best sides.
Well, that's certainly what we want. Everybody to play their best and let the execution and the effort be the deciding factor for sure. So, hey, I appreciate your time. I know you've got plenty going on. I'll let you go, but best of luck.
I'm going to take my nap.
Yeah, get to it. Sorry to interrupt it in the first place.
All right. I'll be the
That was
Michael Perez.
Quick interview with Coach
50,
Bob Ames. Mike was able to catch Wiley early this morning, and we got a quick interview we can set up.
One thing real quick about that interview with Coach Ames. Sorry about the sound quality. That was a little hard to. It didn't record real well, but there were some good bits in there that I thought were pretty fun. I had to skip over a few of the things at the beginning. I asked him, if you followed the University of Tennessee's issues, they've offered the coach job to like 4 different people, and nobody's accepted it. I talked to him about the Tennessee athletic director was in the state this week and asked him if he'd been offered the job. He said they offered him a janitorial position,
right?
But that his wife already has that job secured for him, so he didn't need that position. So, anyways, fun guy to interview.
Always a fun interview.
Always a fun interview. But like I said, I did get a chance also to catch up with Coach Allred actually this morning here in the bowels of the Tacoma Dome as the team arrived. And let's listen in to see what he had to say as far as a preview and what to expect for today's game.
Number 68, Daniel Paxton.
I'm here with Royal head coach Wiley Allred. Coach, thanks for taking the time with me. It's halftime of the game before yours, and I know you got a lot of things to do, and before you know it, it'll be kickoff for our game. So just want to ask you a couple questions and let you get on your way. Offensively, is there anything that you're going to try to establish today you think is important to kind of set the tone early?
We're just going to do what we've been doing, really mix it up and try to give them a few things they haven't seen, and then once the ball game gets going, I'm sure they'll be in the same boat. That let's continue to try to get the ball to our athletes.
They have a defense that's pretty. Not a lot of big guys, but not a lot of small guys. Kind of look like a bunch of clones out there. I think they feel like they're pretty athletic. What do you expect from their defense?
Yeah, I expect a lot of pressure. I think they're going to bring it fast and hard from the get-go. So we've got to find ways to offset that. And yeah, I think they're going to bring pressure as much as they can, as often as they can.
I assumed that as well. I was hoping that we agreed on that. Have you worked with quarterback play on maybe the clock in his head a little bit and some of those types of things, I suppose?
Well, I think, yeah, just having another game with the clock out there should help, and we got to do a good job on the sidelines of getting the plays in and out. We're going to do some signaling and try not to have them run back and forth.
So watching film, their offense, they run a bunch of sets, a bunch of different plays out of a bunch of different sets. Is it something where you try to scout them enough that you try to make some pre-snap reads with your defense, or is it more about gap responsibilities and just kind of being prepared to react to the play in the moment?
No, we've got some pre-snap assignments and basically kind of a schematic take to the defense instead of absolutes. But we got we're who you're walling off 1, 2, or 3, that type of thing. So our kids could count to 3. We'll be okay.
Okay, well, that's all of the time I want to take. I appreciate the time. We got 2 great teams, great programs, great coaching staff competing against each other, so expect a great game. Any parting thoughts?
No, just thank you very much. Thanks for the community for all the support. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks.
Number 99, Taylor Snook.
All right. They're just finishing up with Meridian announcing the players. Royal Knights have already been announced. They're determined to stay on schedule here. So this game is going to get underway fairly shortly. Mike, keys to the game.
Hey, here's some keys to the game for the Knights. On the offensive side of things, you know, I've watched more film than I should this week. I can tell you that. Here's what I see for the Knights. This Meridian defense is not real big. They're quick. They're quick off the ball. They're athletic. They believe in their athleticism more than anything else on defense. So I think that they're going to try to put some pressure on the Knights. So that means two things. One, our offensive line is big and strong, but they're going to have to get off the ball quick. They're going to have to be moving as soon as the ball's snapped so that they can engage. I think once if we get two hands on their guys, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. We also got to be careful about backside blocking on the pulling plays. They're quick enough to fill some of those holes, so we got to make sure we're blocking that backside. Sawyer's got to be protected. And the way we protect Sawyer, I think, is to establish the run game and to set up play action. I think that play action is something that's going to help keep him protected, allow him to roll out a little bit once they respect and honor the run game. And then I think we're going to have to be real patient on offense, not necessarily looking for the quick score, being willing to take what the defense gives us, throw the ball, you know, maybe the 7 to 8, 10-yard stuff, and not looking deep all the time. And then I think once those guys have the ball in open space, they're going to have to make some plays. They're going to have to make some moves that allow them to, you know, pick up some big yards after catch, those sorts of things. Defensively, I think the Knights are going to have to have a controlled rush and have good gap responsibility so that the linebackers have a chance to make some good reads. You got to be careful about the screen game, defend that pretty well, and they got to be sure tacklers. I think if Knights can put together those types of things, I think it really bodes well for them. We'll talk more about the Meridian Trojans offense when they get the ball, but the Knights are going to receive. I'm assuming the Knights that the Trojans won the toss and chose to defer, so the Knights are going to receive the opening kickoff. They'll be going from our right to left.
Kicking off for Meridian.
As the Knights will receive it, they'll receive it from our left to right. We're on the visiting side, so some of the reaction, hopefully you don't hear as much reaction over the Meridian crowd from a Royal perspective anyway. But this 1A state championship game is underway. It's a short pooch kick that's going to be fair caught. Great job by the young.
There was a fair catch, so we get the flag.
And that was Ty Miller, number 19, stepped back and made a really smart move for a young player to fair catch that off the front line. I don't think they intended on that, Mike. I think the kicker got underneath that, and I don't think that's what they planned to do.
Well, they do typically kick short, but I don't know that they normally do. They normally do similar to what we do, where they want to kick it down to about the 30-yard line or so, 25, 30-yard line, kick it high, and it's going to be a 15-yard penalty on that personal foul. So it's going to move the ball deep into Knights territory. Into Trojan. I say deep into Trojan territory, down to the Trojan 44-yard line is where the Knights will take over. They'll be on the left hash, moving from our left to right.
Three receivers near side to the right. Jenks at shotgun with Alonzo Hernandez on his right hip. Long snap count. Takes that snap, looking to throw right away on that right, out of the backfield, out in front of his intended receiver, and that's actually Lorenzo Myrick, who is not Alonzo.
Yeah, I think that was designed.
Sawyer just designed to get that out of the field, a little easy throw, and Sawyer got just a little bit out in front of him, falls incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
I think he was in position to at least pick up the first down. You'll see that when Myrick is in the game, it's more likely that he's going to be potentially getting out of the backfield on the pass.
Myrick will motion out of the backfield. Tight cluster on the right side. Long count, and we're going to have a false start penalty. And the Knights have been suffering from that last few weeks. And
anxious to get going on a long snap count.
So at 2nd down and 10, it's going to turn into 2nd down and 15. The ball back at the 49-yard line of the Trojans. So the ball near midfield, just into Trojan territory.
This Trojan defense, really, there's a couple guys that they really hang their hat on. Number 77, Adam Krucic, is a guy we'll see up front. And the linebacker they really like is number 61, Manny Sabalza.
Shotgun snap, thrown here on the right side. Caught by Angel Frias, puts his shoulder down, tries to get out. He makes it out of the 1, but he's going to get surrounded by lots of Meridian Trojans right about the 42-yard line. So good effort by Angel, and good pursuit by the Trojans to keep that from being a bigger play than it was. It'll bring it up to a 3rd down and about 8.
Number 33, Dylan Hickok on the initial coverage, and he's helped out by number 32, Tony Schleimer. Those are a couple of names that you'll hear a lot throughout the day as well.
Corbin Christensen in isolation up top, far out on the left with 2 wingmen.
4-3 defense, 4 defensive front for the Trojans.
Motion by Farias. They'll give to him around that left side. Good push by the Trojans. They're going to drop him back in. I was going to say night territory, but they drop him for about a 5-yard loss back at the 48-yard line. So what could have been 4-down territory might not be right now. I see a flag on the field, though, at the 41-yard line.
I'm assuming that's going to be holding on the Knights, but it's likely that Trojan would decline it and bring up burn the down against the Knights. We'll see what they decide to do.
Holding on the Knights, let the play stand, and the ball will be at the 47-yard line, bringing up a 4th down and 13.
Is it 4th down, or is it?
Holding the indication against.
Yeah, they'll lose the down. It'll be 4th down and 13. So the Knights will send their punt team on the field. So not the way the Knights wanted to start off their offensive possession with offside penalty and
didn't make the most of that personal foul penalty at the beginning.
With the
back deep will be for the Trojans will be number 21, Hemingway.
CJ Quintero, the punter. Good snap, a good kick away, and it's going to bounce about the 15-yard line and go out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it, but it's going to be inside the 15-yard line.
I would say right at the 15, maybe the 13 at the best.
He's going to stop at the 14. He's right in between us.
So I know the Knights aren't wanting to play necessarily a game of field position, but they do put the Trojans back on their own 14-yard line here, even though they aren't able to produce points. Essentially a 3-and-out for the Knights on their first possession. We'll see what the Knights defense can do here with the Trojans offense. They'll be led by number 13, Simon Burkett. Everybody knows he's an Eastern Washington commit.
Burkett's under center, will play action. He's still in the backfield, gets hit as he throws up high, and it's going to be picked. Corbin Christensen right away at the 30. He's through the 25-20. They're going to bring him down, but the Knights right away pick Simon Burkett as he was hit, I think, by Alonzo Hernandez just as he threw it, and that ball came up well short, and Corbin read it, and the Knights get the ball right back on the 18-yard line.
That ball floated. I'm not even sure Corbin was the guy in coverage on the intended receiver. I think he saw that ball float, snapped off, came and got it. Got another interception to his name, and moves the ball deep into the red zone to about the 18-yard line of the Trojans. The Knights will have their second offensive possession.
Knights spread the field. This time Alonzo Hernandez next to Sawyer. Play action. Quick throw to Corbin on the left side. Steps out of one tackle, but gets brought down for maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain. They're going to mark it about the 16-yard line.
33, Dylan Hickok, the linebacker, on the stop. Just about a 3-yard gain. You're right.
2nd down and 7. 10-15 left to go in the first quarter. No score here in the State 1A championship game.
I expect the Knights to use that screen game because I think they expect the Trojans to bring pressure and they want to keep them honest. Try to get that ball out into open space to their athletes early.
Knights bunching a little tight. Double tight end. Motion from Farias left to right. They'll play action to him, and they're going to look to throw it to Isaac Ellis, and it's a little over the target. He was pretty well covered, but he kind of got held up quite a lot. I was watching that play because I was thinking the first play to Angel, they pursued so hard, I didn't think they were going to hand it to him this time. And he kind of got bottled up by both the defensive end and the linebacker. I don't know what holding is, but he wasn't able to get out in coverage as quick as he wanted to.
Oh, you can pretty much take a pop at that guy as he comes off the line.
As long as you don't hold him,
Yeah, as long as you don't hold on to him, you can bump him. And but Jenks a little fired up here. Maybe threw that pass a little hotter than he meant to.
3 receivers near side to the right. Jenks takes a shotgun snap, rolls out to his right.
Well blocked.
Let it go on the opposite side, and he has to throw back across the field, and it's going to go over the head and falls incomplete to Angel Farias. Bring up a 4th down and about 7 from the 16-yard line.
Jinx needs to settle down. I know he's got a lot of emotion running through right now, and he's been overthrowing a little bit on some of his receivers. He's completed 1 out of 4, and all 4 of the misses have been where he got a little more on it than he wanted to, than he needed to. Knights are going to go for it here, 4th and 7.
Again, the Knights send 3 receivers to the right side. Corbin Christensen in the slot. Jinx rolls to his right, has lots of time, throws it up high. Who's going to get it? It's going to get knocked down. In double coverage on Corbin Christensen down in the near end zone. So the Knights are going to turn the ball over on downs at the 16-yard line to the Trojans. So no points again. 9:35 left to go in the first quarter. And the Knights have threatened, but no points on the board.
Pretty well blocked as he rolled to his right. He had time, but good coverage on the back end by the Trojans, knowing that that high pass to Corbin is one that Jinx likes to get, knowing that Corbin can go up and get a lot of those. So it's going to be the second possession now for the Trojans. Their first possession was a one-play possession that ended in an interception to Corbin Christensen.
Burkett takes the snap, he flips it out, and it's forward. That's going to be an incomplete. That's going to be
that's an incomplete pass. It's awkward.
Pass.
It's awkward because it's a forward.
He flipped
it's
it
like
out to the right.
Like an option pitch, but he pitched it 5 yards forward to his running back coming out of the backfield after a fake on the fly sweep. The intended receiver, I suppose, was number 5, Cole Roberts.
Well, I think he was trying to flip it out to, is that Schleimer, 32, that's out in pitch position.
No, I think it was an intended forward pass.
Trying to flip it.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. It looked awkward, but there's nothing beyond possibility out of this offense from Meridian.
Backfield, quick throw to the tight end, covered by Isaac Ellis and finished up by Juan Ojeda. Out to the 19-yard line, complete for a few yards. That's going to be about a 4-yard gain, 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, no yards after the catch, as Isaac Ellis was there to bring him down as soon as he caught the ball. But a more manageable down the distance for the Trojans here. Burkett, threat with his arm and with his feet.
Third down, 6 yards to go.
Cole Roberts, the running back, who will now step out into a wing position. So again, empty backfield. Burkett looks to throw. He's going to step up. There's lots of room to run. Angel Frias right there. It's going to bring the balls out, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Shoot. It's going to be a first down because the ball's going to be fumbled out.
Ball's going to
beyond the line.
I think he actually maybe just got it, but the ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a first down for the Trojans. Well covered by Angel Frias, came up well, but too much room to run for Burkett. First down.
First down for either team in the game so far.
First down, Meridian.
Burkett comes into the game with a 60% completion rate. He's thrown 43 touchdowns, but 11 interceptions, make that 12 interceptions today. Averages about 274 yards per game passing. He's the leading passer, obviously, but he's also the leading rusher with about just shy of 600 yards rushing as well.
Play action, Burkett's going to step up and throw it deep, and he's got a man way overthrown, incomplete.
Just like Jinx, Burkett throwing a little hot, little too much on it there. Goes over the top of the intended receiver, is number 1, Dawson Logan.
2nd down and 10. The ball is at Meridian 27-yard line. They're going from our right to left, near hash.
Leading receiver and second leading rusher to Burkett is number 8, Bryce Vandenhoek. He's basically has the team record, single-season record this year, 1,360 yards receiving. Knights look like they're going to bring pressure.
Flip that inside, and he's going to get brought down. They try to flip it to the slot man. That's 32 Schleimer, Tony.
Yep.
It's Tony Schleimer.
Yep.
And Knights drop him for a loss back inside the 25-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and about 12.
Knights brought pressure from that left edge, which is where the motion man was coming from. And Alonzo Hernandez made a great read to step inside and make that tackle, a tackle for a loss. Ball's on the left hash. We have 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first quarter. This is the second possession of the Trojans.
Burkett's going to come under center this time as motion goes from right to left across the backfield. And we're going to have a flag thrown. I don't know if that's the Knights are going to jump or if that's going to be false start.
I suspect it'll be against the Knights.
And if it is, yep, they're going to
be on the nose guard, Logan Gomez. I'm not sure he came across the line of scrimmage, though.
And I'm surprised they threw the flag because he just kind of flexed. He didn't seem to move that much. So
goes from 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 7, maybe 3rd and 8.
3rd down, 8.
Knights have to be more disciplined than that, given the potential of the Meridian Trojan offense to be explosive.
Again, empty backfield. Burkett back there by himself. Steps up looking to run this time, but he's going to throw back. He's going to try, but he avoids that first man. He's going to throw it deep down the side, and it is No, just gets knocked away, but 21 got his hands on it. Great effort by Lucas Hemingway, but was that Juan Ojeda came up, and as he tackled him, was able to punch that ball away. So
Hemingway, second leading receiver. He's got 40 catches on the year, 6 touchdowns, and in that scramble drill, he broke off his route trying to get to the sideline and get open, and Ojeda did a pretty good job of sticking with him, and once the ball got there, did a good job wrapping him up and not letting him secure the ball.
And Burkett did a great job of getting the ball to him.
Burkett's the punter, so that's always a little bit scary, but this is a pretty good punting situation.
Gets it away. Farias is going to get it on his own 35-yard line. Has a man right there, but he shifts him. The wall's set up, and oh, boy.
They're not going to call
They're not going to call that, but he's going to get brought down about the 46-yard line. And
really
dumb
pick up the ball at about the 35-yard line?
Yeah, right about the 35. So about a 12-yard return.
12-yard return. The Knights have good field position on their own 47-yard line.
Why we're sounding so befuddled is there was just a blatant block in the back that was not called. And Knights got away with one there. So that they have the ball on their own 47-yard line instead of back of that.
Coach Scroggins down there talking to that blocker.
The guilty party.
Making sure he understands.
Straight I formation in the backfield this time. Jenks under center. Give on the lead. A cross actually in a good pursuit from the linebacker that came across and is going to stop for a 2-yard loss.
At 61, Sabalza. First carry for Alonzo Hernandez is actually going to be a 2-yard loss. As that quick defensive front, like I said, they're not big, but they're quick.
Sabalza the player of the league defensively in their league, correct?
Yes.
Second down and 12. Knights will spread single receivers left and right, with Hernandez on the left hip of Jenks and shotgun. Will play action to him. Throws on this side. It gets on the hands of Isaac Ellis, and he's brought down, but not until he gets down to the 45-yard line and 2 yards from a first down. So after a 2-yard loss, it's going to be a 10-yard gain. The ball on the 45-yard line. I says it gets on his hands because it was one of those passes where he just had to stick his hands out there, and it just stuck to him on the far end. Good hands.
Good pass. Well-thrown ball right where Isaac could get to it and nobody else could. Knights now have a much more manageable 3rd down and 2. Jenks is going to be in shotgun with Hernandez to his right.
Double tight formation. Jenks looks to throw, does quickly to Corbin Christensen, the 40 inside. He's going to get knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. So first down plus about 9 more.
It's going to be 11 more. It's going to be an 11-yard gain.
Ball is on the 34-yard line, so Knights get a fresh set of downs.
11 yards down,
and they'll place it on the near hash. 6:03 left to go in the first quarter. No score.
Corbin Christensen comes in the game with 52 receptions. He's added 2 more, so he's at 54 receptions for the Knights. He's got 16 touchdowns on the season. Knights going to have the ball on the right hash now. First down and 10. 34-yard line of the Meridian Trojans.
Farias and Christensen far left.
Double tight end formation for the Knights.
Jenks in shotgun. Takes the snap. Play action. He has men right there. He's going to throw it far, and he had to get rid of that way ahead. It's going to fall incomplete. Had to throw it way ahead of where he wanted to with pressure coming right up the middle.
Good coverage on the back end. Corbin Christensen got held up a little bit. Wasn't able to get beyond the defender to get to that ball.
So a second down and 10, the ball on the 34-yard line.
Christensen's going to come out for a play. Lorenzo Myrick comes in, as well as number 9 for the Knights, Gage Christensen. Second down and 10 for the Knights.
Jenks in shotgun. Stands back. Throws in the middle, caught by Arangel Farias at the 25-yard line, just short of first down yardage.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close. We'll see where they spot that.
It's going to be about a football length short.
9 yard.
So that'll bring up a
third down and
very short. Knights are going to step right up, and Jenks under center is going to give to Lorenzo, and he gets across the 25, actually gets about 4 yards down to the 21-yard line.
And he's smart to duck. There was a safety coming at him. Once he got the first down, there was a safety coming off the backside. Hemingway.
Chase Jeanette came up a little bit limping out of that. He was in a bit of a scrum, and they had to unpeel each guy. And
injury timeout. He's going to make his way off the field.
Daniel Paxton.
Number 68, Daniel Paxton, who started several games for the Knights, is going to come in for him. Not much of a drop-off there. Paxton's a little bit smaller, but pretty tenacious. Going to move into that right guard spot for the Knights. 5 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first quarter. Neither team has put up any points. The Knights have the ball at the 21-yard line of the Meridian Trojans. It's going to be first down and 10 after that catch by Angel Farias, and then a quick 4-yard run in a bunch formation by Myrick to pick up the first down.
Straight I formation. Jack Diaz in at fullback position, motion from left to right by Christensen. They will play action, and they throw out of the backfield to Jack Diaz, and it comes off his hands, falls incomplete, and he had nothing but green turf in front of him.
Well-designed play. If Jack could have brought it in, he would have had the first down and then some, as the left side of the defensive backfield for the Trojans, paying a lot of respect to Corbin Christensen going on the deep route, and trying to fill up underneath there was Jack Diaz out of the backfield. They may go back to that play. I don't think they're going to forget what the potentiality was there. It's going to be second down and 10 now for the Knights.
Again, I formation. Jenks under center. This time to give to Hernandez on the lead. Stays on his feet, blowing people off left and right. Protect that ball. He still has it. He's not going to get a first down. He's going to get awful close down to the 12.
Hernandez, Rangel carry the football.
And bring up a fourth down and very short.
I think he's going to pick up 9 yards.
To the 12-yard line of the tackle, Lucas Hemingway.
And it's third down and 1. Jenks conferring a little bit with his backfield. Going to be an I formation for the Knights with Diaz and Hernandez.
Give to Diaz right at the line of scrimmage, and he doesn't need to lean as much as he is because he's well over, so protect that ball, but he's going to get just right at the 10, inside the 10-yard line. So Knights are going to have a first down and goal. The ball placed just inside the 10-yard line.
He's going to pick up 2 yards on that as he kind of leans the ball out to make sure.
Yeah.
And it's always a dangerous thing that ball could get knocked loose.
4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Knights threatening right here.
First and goal from the 10-yard line.
Knights again going to go with this I formation. Christensen on the left, but at the short side of the field. Jenks will play action, but he's going to throw to Corbin Christensen right there in the corner. Put your hands up. Touchdown, Corbin Christensen.
Pass is complete.
Great execution, great pass, and Corbin knew right where he was and just had his feet right there in the corner. And that should settle down. That was great. There's been, after a few erratic passes by Sawyer to start the game, he's getting himself controlled and putting that ball where he wants to put it. 3:47 left to go in the quarter. Knights are first on the board with Osvaldo Guerrero set to kick the extra point. Corbin Christensen with the hold. Good snap. The extra point is up and signaled good. 3:47 left to go in the first quarter. Knights jump to a 7-0 lead. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Well, the Knights get on the board early. That bodes well. Lets the defense maybe lock in a little bit here. And but these Meridian Trojans, as we know, have all sorts of firepower.
Really good pursuit.
Meridian got here by beating Hoquiam 63-21 in the opening round. And then they beat an undefeated Montesano team 28-7. Last week, they dominated La Center 34-14. That La Center team had 21 of 22 starters were seniors, so that was a tough team that they took down. So no time to relax here for the Knights, as the defense is going to have to come on strong and get the ball back in the hands of the offense.
Tara will punch it low, and it might go out of bounds. And it does touch the out of bounds, and it's going to bring it up to the 35-yard line.
That return man, Dawson Logan, got too close to it. It almost bounced back in and hit him, but he is able to stay out of the way of it and let it go out of bounds, so the ball will move out to the 35-yard line for the Trojans to be their best field position, as they have 3 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first quarter, with an opportunity to try to even things up here after the Knights score on a 10-yard pass from Sawyer Jenks to Corbin Christensen. Jenks is 5 for 11 so far, as he had some early jitters. Seems to be settling down a little bit here. And Simon Burkett, his counterpart for the Trojans, trying to do the same thing as he had a couple hot passes on his first few attempts as well.
Ball on the 35-yard line, far hash. Going from our right to left is Meridian. Burkett looks to throw quick and throws it to number 8 out on screen. Well blocked, has room to run, steps inside, and gets out near midfield for about a 14-yard gain.
Knights probably need to do a better job. They had 3 guys out there, and the Knights had 2.5, as one guy was trying to split the difference on whether he was going to be out there all the way. They run that screen pass. Vandenhoek I saw him before the game. You could fit him in your pocket. He's not very big. Coach Ames has a habit of really undersizing his guys on the roster, but Vandenhoek is really small. He is quick, and speed kills.
Looks to throw deep down the middle, and it just goes off the hands. Boy, he threw that on a good line. That's Schleimer.
Schleimer out of the backfield.
But it was well covered by Isaac Ellis, but it was just off his hands, so that ball placed really nicely.
Again, both quarterbacks now are getting in a rhythm where they're putting the ball where their guy can get to it and the defense can't. But Schleimer not able to bring that in and help out his quarterback there. Ball's on the left hash, 2nd down and 10 on the 49-yard line of the Trojans.
Empty backfield, just Burkett.
Knights bringing pressure.
Right side, and it's going to get, oh, boy! Corbin Christian went for the pick. It just went over his hand.
Yeah, and, he mistimed his jump, wasn't able to get up to it. It went over the top of him, and so Vanderhoek had a chance. But Corbin at least got in the way of his line of sight, and I don't think if Corbin wouldn't have jumped, he probably would have caught the ball because he would have been able to concentrate on the ball a little bit more. Now we're going to have 3rd down and 10 for the Trojans. And again, most teams you would say this is an obvious passing situation and you would kind of lock your defense in for certain things. Not so with the Trojans. Anything from anywhere at any time.
And Burkett can bust out of the backfield any time.
And he can scramble on. He can do a design run or he can scramble as well.
3rd down and 10 from the 49-yard line.
Empty backfield. They'll send 3 receivers wide to the right. Burkett's
pressure's coming.
And he does throw it. And it's going to get caught.
Oh, drop.
Oh, he does drop it.
He dropped it. So that's number 89, Kevin Galliano. Galliano had 2 long touchdown plays last week
and a flag
against
down
the
in the
center.
Probably a hold would be my guess.
Unless it's roughing the passer against the Knights. Didn't see that. That's going to be an automatic 1st down, I believe, against the Knights. So we were watching that ball get thrown and didn't see what happened after the play. Knights not real happy about it. It looked bang to me as I saw the pressure coming.
I turned my eyes on the play, so I can't have any opinion on the call. But it's going to roll that ball all the way down inside the 40 to the 36-yard line.
So obviously the Trojans fans below us pretty excited about it. Knights fans on the other side don't agree with the call, but it is going to move the ball into their territory. The Knights brought pressure, got good pressure on him, forced him to throw that up, but Galliano just dropped the ball.
Burkett gets that ball where it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
really does. Motion out of the backfield by Vandenhoek, but Robert's still there. Going to pump action to him. They're going to try to go down. He's still on his feet, rolling out to the right, and he throws it to Vandenhoek. Catches, steps inside of a potential guy, and he's going to step out of bounds, but I think he's going to be just short of 1st down.
About a yard short, but it'll bring up 2nd down and almost nothing. So Trojans here will have a wide open playbook. Good pressure, but that pressure really needs to be outside in instead of inside out whenever possible because it flushes Burkett and allows him to he throws pretty well on the run, and the receivers are good enough to break off their routes and find some holes to sit in. That time it was Vandenhoek along the Knights sideline, picks up the 9-yard gain, brings up 2nd down and 1. Trojans on the right hash.
Pro set in the backfield, but they'll send Vandenhoek in motion out. Burkett under center. He's going to keep it himself, and he
may not get it. I don't think so. I think he's going to end up with no gain there. As number 34, Alonzo Hernandez, probably the guy to get credit for the tackle there, but a couple other guys also helping push him back.
3rd down and short again as the ball will be placed on the 27-yard line.
That was just a design run off tackle for Burkett to follow his running back through that hole between or behind the tackle, and the Knights did a good job reading that. This is going to be 4-down territory for the Trojans, so I wouldn't be surprised for them to take a little bit of a deep shot here as they're going to have empty backfield. Pressure's coming. The ball comes out of his hand. They're calling it a fumble, and it looks like the Trojans are going to fall on it.
Yep.
But it's going to be about a 9, maybe 10-yard loss as he had the ball in his hand. Pressure was coming I think that was Alonzo Hernandez who came untouched, full bore at Burkett. And he heard those footsteps coming as he raised the ball to throw it. It just flipped out of his hand, and he's got one of his teammates that drops on it, but it's a 10-yard loss. It's going to bring down 4th down and 11. I don't know what they've got for a field goal kicker, but they've definitely pushed him out of field goal range.
Back to the 37-yard line, so it would be a 50-some, maybe even a 54-yard try. So they're going to go for it on 4th down with the ball at the Knight 37-yard line. Burkett's going to roll out to his left. Has a lot of time to throw, does throw, and boy, did he catch that? It's caught by number 1, Dawson Logan, and just slices the defense, put the ball right where it had to be, and they're going to move it down inside the 20 to the 17, and a fresh set of down for the Trojans.
Huge conversion for the Trojans to preserve this drive. We're down to 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first quarter. The Knights have a 7-0 lead, but the Trojans into the red zone, down to the Knights 17-yard line. Ball on the left hash. Well-thrown ball by Burkett, completed to number 1, Dawson Logan, for that 4th down conversion.
Receiver set wide left and right. Burkett tries to throw it and gets jumped by Alonzo Hernandez and almost gets a pick, but he knocks it down incomplete.
Yeah. Lorenzo Myrick was in the coverage, but Alonzo Hernandez, as the linebacker, read that play quickly, reached out. He did the same thing last week and nearly had a pick, but he does knock the ball away.
55 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Second down and 10.
Now 2nd and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Everything packed in tight. This time Roberts is going to motion out far to the right. Burkett, a lot of time to throw. It's complete to number 81. Is going to get inside the 10-yard line for a first and goal. They're going to get a first down, and so they're going to have a 1st and goal right about the 5-yard line. Complete to number 81, Ty Dykstra.
TJ.
Up ahead to the 5-yard line.
They say Ty?
Yeah, TJ Dykstra.
It is TJ. I even have my glasses on. What a deal.
Going to be 1st and goal. Ball centered between the hashes from the 5-yard line.
Pro formation, hand off to Roberts, and he's going to get just inside the 5, maybe, well, they'll mark it close to 3, maybe 2 yards on that. Second down and goal to the 3-yard line.
Alonzo Hernandez on the stop. Hemingway comes into the game as Logan makes his way to the sideline for the Trojans. Ball's on the 3-yard line, 2nd down and goal. 9 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see if they get this play off. They wouldn't have to if they don't want to.
And they're not. If they're going to stop it. They will stop it. So the first quarter is going to end with the Knights leading 7-0, but the Trojans threatening on the 3-yard line. We'll be right back. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Mud, no problem. Bugs, no problem. Nasty road salt, no problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the Knights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the Dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Truck Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
My name is Chris Culbertson. I own Colby's Greenhouse. We grow 3 to 4 million plants a year. We put 1 million miles a year on our rigs. We service a dozen farm vehicles. I've been a good Napa customer. This is the first business truck that I ever bought, so it's had a lot of Napa parts. One thing I like about my local Napa store, I just call them up and say, hey, they know who I am. I would recommend that anyone shop at Napa. Great prices, great availability, excellent warranty. Napa's the one for us.
Napa, get the good stuff.
Second down and goal.
Second quarter is going to begin with a 2nd down and goal on the 3-yard line. Meridian will pack it in tight. Tight cluster to the right. Burkett in shotgun is going to roll out to his left, trying to run. he's going to get forced out of bounds and lost yardage. Now, the first guy out there was C.J. Quintero, who bottled it up, but ultimately driven out of bounds by a teammate. I didn't see.
Number 5, Angel Farias, drove him out of bounds. And from the 3-yard back to the 7, it's a loss of 4. It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal for the Trojans from the 7-yard line. So Quintero did a good job getting out there and forcing on that design run to the short side of the field, forcing Burkett out and allowing the rest of the team, Farias, to get there and force him out of bounds. It's going to be empty backfield. Tight cluster. 4 guys, a tight cluster to the right.
Burkett takes the shotgun snap, stands there. There's a lot of times to throw, throws it high to the corner, and it's going to get knocked down by Corbin Christensen, intended for number 81. That's TJ Dykstra.
Great pass defense by Corbin. He's got a height advantage for sure over Dykstra, is able to take advantage of that. That ball is pretty well thrown to the right corner of the end zone, and it's going to be bring up 4th down and goal for the Trojans from the 7-yard line. They're going to go for it. They know field goals aren't going to be the thing here that's going to win this game for them. So Burkett and his guys are going to have 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He's going to be in empty backfield.
Field spread. Here comes some pressure, and the flag goes, and it's going to move the ball halfway to the goal line, I'm afraid, because I think the Knights got just a little bit too quick on the jump.
Knights are going to be offsides. They cross the line, trying to time that snap count. And it doesn't mean an automatic first down, but it does mean a much easier attempt here from the 7 down to the 3.5-yard line. Still be 4th and goal. We're 11 minutes and 44 seconds into the 2nd quarter.
They're trying desperately to do the math from the 7 halfway to the goal. Here it comes. He even got it right. What a deal. Actually, it went from the 7 to the 3.
To the goal line. 4th and goal from just outside.
4th and goal. Ball just outside the 3-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Burkett on his own in the backfield. Shotgun snap. He's going to throw it across the middle, and is it caught? They're going to say it's touchdown just across the line, and he slices it into Vandenhoek. And he was just in the end zone enough when that ball crossed the plane. He was brought down immediately, but it's going to be 6 points for the Trojans.
Yeah, I actually thought the defense was in pretty good shape, but he fired a ball right in there. That Vandenhoek, his best receiver, was able to catch right at the front middle of the end zone.
Knight's not able to get the pressure on that they would like to get on Burkett, because you give him time, I see what Eastern Washington sees in him. He can deliver the ball where it's supposed to be. Extra point attempt is up and good. 11:38 left to go in the first half. All tied up 7-7. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Your day means getting from point A to point B, as in bank or ballet. G for gym, W for work. When what you drive needs tires or service, get to Point S, Tire and Auto. A trusted neighbor with the right tires for how and where you drive, and certified techs to take care of what you drive. So you get to all the points in your day and home again safely. Get to the point. Point S Tire and Auto Service. Expert service guaranteed.
Here you notice a couple sponsors we've got new. If you've been listening, Point S Tire and Splash and Dash Car Wash. Welcome those guys.
Point S
sponsors of the broadcast.
Point S located there right next to Saddle Mountain Supply, part of the Saddle Mountain Supply Performance Ag Group.
Been building that building for a little while down there.
They're all opened up and ready to serve you in your tire and car and automotive needs.
Are you an official spokesman? That sounded pretty slick, didn't it?
Kicking off, number 99.
Well, the Meridian Trojans early here in the second quarter even things up against the Knights. Knights will be returning this ball.
The ball is going to get taken right at the 20-yard line, taken right up the right side, and going to get bottled up at the 30.
About the 31, maybe 32-yard line. We'll see where they spot it.
Put him all the way up to the 33. So the Knights will have the ball on their own 33 going from our right to left. 11:31 left to go in the first half with it all tied up at 7-7.
You know, the Knights have been here before. They've been in tough games. Last year against the Connell Eagles, the Eagles struck first and took the early lead. And so the Knights have been in the position. They know how to battle back. They haven't been in the position very much during the regular season. Of course, some of those guys are still here from last year's championship team. And so, you know, they've got that experience and hopefully will have the patience and confidence to just keep playing the plays. That
tight cluster on the left side is Myrick motions out of the backfield. And
oh, man.
We might have a motion penalty.
I didn't see anything, but I think that's what it's going to be against the Knights. The Knights really going to have to clean this up. Whatever it is they're doing, these 5-yard penalties are certainly going to hinder the game plan.
Puts it back on the 28-yard line. Still first down, but first down and 15.
Coach Allred pulls Sawyer Jinks over, gives him a new play call.
First and 15. Ball will be now at the 28-yard line.
15 seconds left on the play clock. One thing different when you get to these facilities is you got a play clock that's visible that you can see instead of depending on the official to give you a heads up.
Hernandez on the left hip. They'll play action. They'll give to Hernandez, and big number 77 makes a big play in the backfield for a loss. Adam Kruzich, and it's going to drop Hernandez back at the 25-yard line for about a 3-yard loss, 2-yard loss.
Taken back to the 25.
So it's going to be second down and about 17 or 18.
Again, like I said, the Knights' offensive line is, I think, bigger and maybe stronger, but they've got to be quicker also. And Kruzich did a nice job getting in there and bottling that play up.
Jenks in shotgun. Myrick motions out of the backfield. Looks to throw. He's got some time. Throws it to CJ Quintero. It's caught about on the 27-yard line, but he'll be brought down immediately.
They'll get some forward progress, so we'll have to see exactly where they spot that ball.
They'll put it out about the 28-yard line.
So it's only going to be about a 3-yard gain. Going to bring up third down and back to 15 yards.
3-yard pickup, third down.
I like the idea of getting the guys the ball in open space, but sure tackling there from the Trojans limits that gain by Quintero. Ball's on the left hash, 28-yard line. Third down and 15 for the Knights.
Jenks this time will step under center. He's got Lorenzo Myrick in the backfield. Isaac Ellis motions from left to right. Long count, play action. He'll peel back to his right, avoids the pressure, lets that ball go, and it's knocked away. Corbin Christensen had turned into a defensive back on that, as Vandenhoek had good coverage, and Corbin was able to knock that down. So it's going to bring a fourth down and long. The Knights to send their punt team onto the field.
Which means that the Trojans will send number 21, Hemingway, back deep to receive. So Jinks did a good job getting out of the pocket, buying some time, rolling to his right.
Knights are missing somebody.
Carlos Quintero back deep.
Yeah.
They got lots of time, plenty of time.
For Meridian, the deep man, number 21, Hemingway.
Hemingway's going to be on about his own 40-yard line, expecting to receive this punt.
Good snap. Pretty decent punt. It's going to get taken right about the 37-yard line. Stepping left, stepping right. And Logan Gilbert missed him on the first, came back and drilled him from behind.
That's an incredibly athletic play from the senior Logan Gilbert, kind of a special teams specialist, I suppose. And, yeah, like you said, he kind of flew by him the first time, but popped up really quick and got back in and on the play and brought him down. As Hemingway was looking to avoid some other defenders coming down the field, Gilbert gets to him from the backside, brings him down at about the 37-yard line. That's where the Trojans will have the ball. First down and 10. With 9 minutes and 39 seconds left in the second quarter. Game all knotted up, 7-7.
They'll be going from our left to right. As we got, what do we got here? It came in from the sideline. I don't know if, well, it almost seems like there's 12 guys, but there's not. Quick throw. Oh, and almost just off the hand. Nearly intercepted. It was just a big jumble of people in and out. Did you see what was going on there?
Yeah, the 89 Galliano came off the sideline late to jump into the formation. The ball was thrown to the left by Burkett, and there was some confusion there. The receiver ran a deep route, and Burkett was expecting to break it off to the inside. Angel Farias was in coverage, saw the pass, reacted to it, and made a diving attempt for the interception, but nobody gets to it.
Falls incomplete, second down and 10. 9:33 left to go in the first half.
From the 37.
3 receivers set to the left. Very often Burkett on his own in the backfield. Quick throw out, and it's in it, but he does catch it. 21 does bring the ball in. It comes up off his hands, but he gets it out for about a 3 or 4 yard gain, brought down by Juan Ojeda right about the 40-yard line. So a 3-yard gain, third down and 7.
Third down.
Pretty comparative stats. We just got handed stats for the first quarter. 2 quarterbacks. Sawyer Jinks 6 out of 12. Simon Burkett 6 out of 13. Both for just right at 50 yards.
Again, the field is spread. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Burkett throws across the middle, and good coverage and knocked down. Juan Ojeda breaks up the pass intended for Dykstra, and it will bring up a 4th down and 7 on the 40-yard line of the Trojans, and they will send their punt team onto the field.
Nearly perfect timing from Ojeda at his safety spot. So he made 2 plays in a row there. He made the tackle on the quick out pass along the sideline, limited him to 3 yards, forced him into 3rd and 7, and then makes a great play on a deeper pass across the middle to break that up. Really good timing. Knight's going to send Farias back to return from his own 30-yard line. See if they kick it to him. They are.
Burkett does kick it to him. Caught right on the 30. Steps out of his one man. On that right side, up to the 40, up across midfield. He's down the right side, stepping in and out. Tries to jump over Burkett, but he's upended. But a great athletic play by both of those players. Gets the ball all the way back to the 28-yard line of the Trojans. So great athletic play by both of those kids on that play.
Takes it from 130 to almost the other 30. I think they're going to mark it at about the 33-yard line. And he leaping that defender didn't get him much as far as extra yards, but it certainly got the team pumped up on the sideline.
And I think
they're psyched. And I'm glad that they're going to keep. I hope they keep punting to Farias.
I'm worried that was his last receipt of the day.
It might be. He just got out to that sideline, the Knights sideline, and there was some good blocks, and he turned on the Jets and got great field position for the Knights.
Will bring 2 receivers near side to the left. They'll start this whistle with Jenks in shotgun with Hernandez to his right. Looks to throw, steps up, throws on that right side, up high, and it's going to fall incomplete. Really hot pass that went off Corbin's hands and off the helmet of the coverage man.
Was catchable, but it was a pretty hot pass.
Really hot.
For the Knights, number 73, Micah Alberts into the game at center.
They've done some shifting because I'm not sure Chase Jeanette is back in. He is not back in there. Chase Jeanette.
Logan started at center the first few possessions, so curious to keep an eye on that, if there's a development there or if they just decided that they want to put him there and give Logan some opportunity to take a breather for as much work as he does on the defensive side.
Ellis motion from right to left. Jenks in shotgun, steps up, throws right as he's about to get hit, and falls incomplete. Kind of had to throw that a little sooner than he wanted to.
Yeah.
And
might be having a tendency right now to lock in on Corbin.
Taking into 3rd down.
Covered well, but falls incomplete. 3rd down and 10. The ball on the 32-yard line.
Both these quarterbacks have benefited all year from receivers that can make plays, and really haven't seen the kind of coverage that they're seeing so far on both sides. So quarterbacks are going to have to be a little more sure with their passes.
I'm looking to Farias on this play. I don't know why, but Jenks is going to roll out to his left. Farias coming across the side. It's going to be thrown on this far side, knocked down by... Knights wanted some sort of interference, but it's a good defensive play where number 1, Logan on the coverage, came over the top of C.J. Quintero, knocks that down. It's going to bring up 4th down and 10 on the 33-yard line. Knights not able to get any yards on these first 3 plays of this drive.
In real time, it looked close, but looked like good coverage, similar to the coverage Ojeda had for the Knights on the last possession.
Sure.
If you put that into super slow motion, you may see that maybe he got there a hair before, but officials typically aren't going to call something that's so close and almost impossible to decipher with the naked eye.
Jenks has Hernandez to his right with the tight end on the left side, actually double tight end. Pump fake to the right. It's going to throw it deep to the corner on the left. Angel Farias is there, but it's just about out of bounds. He doesn't quite catch it either. So the Knights try to go for it all on 4th down. and come up short. They'll turn the ball over on downs with 8:09 left to go in the first quarter, and Meridian will take it over on their own 33-yard line.
Looked like Galliano in coverage, and Farias was down to the 1-yard line. The ball right in that corner of the end zone, and he reached out, trying to replicate a spectacular catch against Okanagan 2 weeks ago. Not able to. Turnover on downs. Logan Gomez does come in on the defensive line, so no injuries there. I think that's just a decision the Knights made to try to keep them fresh as they can. And so he's going to line up here at nose guard over the top of the center, Sabalza, who also plays middle linebacker for the Trojans on defense.
Field of spread. Burkett, trick throw on that right side, and the ball comes out. It was in his hands and out, and they call it incomplete. He didn't quite make a football move, so to speak, on an NFL rule, but it will fall incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Harlan Stewart was the intended receiver. Not a guy that they've gone to a lot this year. Probably could have secured that ball, but good defensive coverage to make contact and force it loose. 8 minutes left.
2nd and 10.
In the second quarter, game all knotted up. 2nd down and 10 from the left hash, their own 32-yard line for the Trojans.
Galliano motion across the left side. Burkett play actions, rolls to his right, lets that ball go on a good move. He knows right where Vandenhoek was going to be, and he caught that ball down inside the 50 in the Knight territory. They'll mark it on the 47-yard line.
Corbin Christensen with the tackle.
He even moves like a Brown twin. Looks like those kids, about their same size, and that was a good execution by the Trojans on that outside break. The ball was in the air long before the break was ever made. And they'll get the ball in Knight territory in the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. 7:47 left to go in the first half. Motion across the backfield right to left. Burkett under center will quick throw out. It's a lateral
double
pass. Steps in and out. He's going to just run. It's got lots of room and lots of speed. Got the 30, inside the 30 to the 25. They'll mark it about the 23-yard line.
The penalty marker down.
Where's it at?
It's right there on the 44-yard line. Almost. It's hard to see because of the way this turf kind of glistens in the light.
It's coming back.
I believe it should be coming back.
They're pointing that direction, and now the Trojans are walking that direction.
I don't know if it was a formation penalty. We'll wait and see what the call is. The white hat making his way to midfield.
It's illegal shift.
So it must have had 2 guys shifting at the same time.
So we'll roll back 5 yards to inside Knight territory to the 48-yard line. 1st down still, but 1st down and 15. Instead of 1st down inside the 25 to like the 23-yard line. So a big break for the Knights.
So number 1, Dawson Logan was the guy that made that play. He caught the ball. He tended to do a double pass. Now he's the backup quarterback, so the Knights are aware of that, and they've run that play a few times in other games. There was nothing open, so he took off, but that formation or the shift negated. Well, it could have been a big play. Ball down to back to the Meridian 48-yard line on the left hash.
Knights bringing lots of pressure, and it's caught by 89. Can't remember his name, Galliano. And it's caught, brought down about the 40-yard line. So they get, boy, what's that, 12 yards down to the Knight 40. So it'll bring up 2nd down and just 3.
That's a 13-yard pickup.
Receivers running pretty crisp routes. And Burkett has been hot the last couple series, putting it right on them.
Knights, I think, attempting to get some pressure on that last play. Brought about 5 or 6 guys on it. He got rid of it in a hurry to Galliano for that pickup. And looks like we might have a timeout by Meridian. We'll take a timeout as well. All tied up at 6:48 left to go in the first half. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
It's your family road trip, your limousine, your business. It's what you drive. Take care of it at Point S Tire and Auto Service. For tires and expert service you can trust. Get to the point. Point S, expert service guaranteed.
The great thing about an old truck is you can treat it like an old truck, which is exactly why you got a truck in the first place. It's not old, it's broken in. So keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how. That's not gonna buff out.
Coming out of that timeout, 2nd down and 3 on the Knights 40-yard line. Meridian going from our left to right.
After the timeout, it will be 2nd down and 3. Ball will be at the 40-yard line of Royal.
Burkett under center. Play action is going to roll. And he gets it to his man, number 5, and clips him. Roberts just gets clipped by both Rams, Gonzalez and Lorenzo Myrick come up and stop him for no gain.
Gonzalez with the tackle.
As Burkett kind of rolled to his right and flicked the ball out to his left.
That's the classic screenplay that Meridian likes to run. There's a kind of a jailbreak by the defensive line, and he was waiting to be able to throw up over the top of them. The Knights do a pretty good job staying in coverage, staying home there on the left side, and are able to limit him to no gain. The ball's going to be on the 40-yard line again. The only difference is it's going to be closer to the left hash than instead of centered on the field. Burkett's going to be at the empty backfield in shotgun.
Lots of pressure. He gets rolled out, and he doesn't stay contained. He avoids it well, gets out of the bounds. He's going to get a 1st down, and that shows you what the athleticism does in not containing a man from the outside. And a great athlete like Burkett gets out on that far side, is going to get a 1st down.
You've got to pursue him from the outside in. When you force him outside, that's what he wants. Knights had a couple guys, had a couple shots at him, and then when the defensive back came up, instead of chasing him from outside in, he allowed him to get up that sideline.
1st and 10 for the Trojans on the Knight 33-yard line. 6:14 left to go in the first half. Burkett under center will roll out to his right, has pressure, tries to do a tricky move, still on his feet. It's going to throw the ball, and it's going to fall out of bounds, incomplete, as he stretched that all the way to this side.
Intended for Galliano, but the ball was 2 yards out of bounds. He may have caught it, for all I know. I couldn't tell, but he was out of bounds when he did. 24 for the Knights, C.J. Quintero chasing him. And C.J.'s going to need some oxygen. He's been doing a lot of chasing. And we need to contain him, kind of keep that pocket kind of molded around him a little bit and be a little more controlled pressure probably, rather than flush him out and let him throw on the run. Ball again on the left hash, 33-yard line of the Knights, 2nd down and 10. We've got 6 minutes. This second quarter has moved slowly, a lot of incomplete passes. We got 6 minutes left until halftime. Game all knotted up.
3 receivers spread wide to the right, thrown across the middle, and caught, but brought down just short of the 1st down yardage by number 32, completed to Schleimer, and brought down by Lorenzo Myrick.
Tackling. That will be a 9-yard gain. Down to the 24-yard line.
On the 24-yard line, 3rd and very short.
3rd and 1.
So ball thrown back to the short side of the field, up that hash. And quick read, quick release by Burkett.
As Burkett's had time to throw, he has put the ball on the money. That's really the thing that the Knights are probably going to have to solve, is to get some pressure on him, as there will be a timeout by Meridian. We will as well. 5:25 left to go in the first half. All tied up at 7. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
From the most trusted name in the Columbia Basin comes Callahan Gravel. You'll love Callahan's rock-solid product. Multiple applications include driveways, roads, stackyards, and landscaping. A pothole's worst nightmare. Call Callahan Gravel at 346-2208 to get rocked.
Mud, no problem. Bugs, no problem. Nasty road salt, no problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the Knights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the Dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Trunk Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
Out of the timeout, Burkett hands it off to Roberts, who's going to slice in and get real close. Boy, the guy on the far side, if we mark it where he is, I think it's going to bring up another 4th and very, very short.
I think he's going to be short by about a half a yard, maybe 3/4 of a yard. If we don't normally call out measurements like that, but it's going to be 4th down and less than a yard, but more than the length of a football. As Burkett beckoning his players with the play call to hurry up and get onto the field.
They might have to take a timeout. They're
Only
down
about
under
5
seconds.
left
They'll
on the
have
play
to
clock.
hurry. Down to 4-3. They get the snap off, and he's going to throw it quickly, and it's going to fall incomplete as he had to get hurried. And he and Eddie Cortez got tangled up, but they help each other up. And that ball's going to fall incomplete. The Knights going to take it over on a quick succession of they tried to hurry the play instead of taking that last final timeout, and ultimately threw it too quick out of the break. Ball falls incomplete.
Well, Burkett didn't have much choice as that pressure was coming, and he tried to flick it in Hemingway's direction, but Hemingway wasn't even out of his break yet. The ball may have even hit him in the back of the leg there as he started to turn. So the Knights defense comes up big. 4 minutes and 38 seconds left in the second quarter. They're going to have the ball, turn the ball back to their offense on the 24-yard line, right hash.
Quintero sets up on the left side in the slot. 2 men to the left. Jenks, quick throw to Corbin Christensen. Avoids that first man, has to get inside the other one, but the pursuit from he got forced too far inside, and as the pursuit came from the defense. Now, granted, he got out to the 31-yard line, a good gain, but not where he wanted to take that inside screen.
7-yard pickup.
4 catches for Corbin. He's got 31 yards.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Ball's at the 31.
Knights will send 2 receivers wide to the right this time. Christensen in isolation down low on the left. Jenks hands the ball off to Alonzo Hernandez, who gets out near the 35-yard line. I think he's going to get it. He's going to get about a half a yard more than he needed, and it'll reset the downs for the Knights at the 35-yard line. Just under 4 minutes left to go in the first half.
Knights haven't run the ball very much, mostly in short yardage situations. That's Hernandez's 4th carry only. After his first one was a negative 2-yard gain. Now he's got 4 carries for 8 yards.
Jenks will stay in shotgun. Quick throw on that right side, caught by Angel Farias, and a sure-handed, I was going to say a sure-handed tackle, but he doesn't, but he sticks that ball out. We'll see where they mark it.
I think they should give it to him. He reached across. They're going to give it to him.
He punched his hand out, so it's going to get out to the 45-yard line. They're going to give him a first down on the extra effort, as it shows you the strength of Angel and his big body and strong legs. Breaks that tackle that I thought was going to be a sure-handed tackle, and gets about 4 more yards for a first down. 3:34 left to go in the first half.
Well, we know how dangerous he can be if he breaks that first tackle and gets his motor revved up.
2 receivers this near side to the left. Hernandez off the left hip of Jenks in shotgun. They will give the ball to him on the right side. Breaks through the linebacker, still on his feet. Now across the 50, down to the 40, and gets brought down from behind. Is that ball out of? They're going to say it's down.
It's going to be a 17-yard gain.
And that ball came out, but they're saying it came out as he hit the turf and gets all the way down to the 38-yard line. First down for the Knights. Good hard run by Alonzo. And I think that came out as it hit the turf.
I think a run like that is critical for the Knights in their ability to keep the balance that they want, to keep the play action being effective.
From the 38-yard line.
3:20 left to go in the first half. Knights will send 2 receivers wide to the left. Angel Farias wide to the right. Jenks takes the shotgun snap, floats out to his left, now has to go back to the middle and throws to Corbin Christensen, who's hit immediately, completed at the 33-yard line.
He's going to pick up
a gain of about 5?
4 or 5. We'll see where they spot that ball.
Right at the 33, about a 5-yard gain. Man. We're going to call it a 5.
We'll call it 5. It's close to 6.
Second down and a short 5. 2:45 left to go in the first quarter. Knights have the ball on the Meridian 33-yard line. Second down and 5.
Obviously, the ideal would be for the Knights to come down and score on this drive and chew up a lot of clock, because remember, the Trojans are going to have the ball to open the second half.
Jenks will take the shotgun snap, will play action, will roll out to his right, has a little pressure, lets it go. It's caught by Corbin Christensen on the far side, and now they're going to throw a flag, and they're going to call holding on somebody. And that ball will come back.
Looks like that's what it could have been.
That was
penalty
inside,
flag about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
It's complete to Corbin inside the 20-yard line, but instead of a first down inside the 20, it's going to be a hold. It took my eyes away. And
takes back a big play.
I was going to say I have no opinion, but my opinion doesn't matter. So second down still, but it's going to roll it back. If they leave it from the 34, it'll come all the way back to the 44-yard line, so it'll be a second down and about 17.
We'll see what they do exactly. Corbin Christensen comes back into the game. Gage Christensen, his cousin, makes his way off. The officials, the Knights break the huddle. They want to go. The officials are still trying to make some decisions here.
They're going to walk off 10 from the 34, so it'll be placed on the 44-yard line.
Still be
so
second down.
Second down, but second down and 16 after
Big
the
play.
holding penalty
Yeah,
on the Knights.
big play negated on that hold.
44-yard line.
Jenks will be under center with not Myrick, Alonzo Hernandez in the backfield. 3 receivers set wide to the right.
16 yards to go.
Quick throw, caught by Corbin Christensen. Going to try to double pass it, and it is caught.
That's a catch.
Angel Farias.
And that's a
big
touchdown.
Catch and a touchdown. As
No
he came back to
penalty
the
markers
inside,
down.
and he threw it short, and Angel made the play. And for all we know, he just threw it to a spot and said, Angel, you got to get this ball. Angel came back and got that ball right about the 12-yard line and gets it in for a big, big play on the double pass. Wow.
That's a 44-yard touchdown catch. And again, coverage was decent. I was surprised.
Really?
I was actually halfway surprised that there wasn't a pass interference call maybe. Farias goes up and beats him for the ball and then runs through the tackle attempt and navigates the last 10 yards into the end zone with nobody between him and pay dirt.
Guerrero punches the extra point through. 2:12 left to go in the first half. Knights extend their lead to 14-7. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
2:12 left.
Knights on the double pass. Great athletic play by Angel Farias to step up and make that catch and step it in from the 12-yard line out, a 44-yard line or 44-yard double pass. Touchdown.
Kickoff coming up by number 24, Carlos.
Stay tuned to halftime.
Back deep for Meridian, number 1, Dawson Logan.
We've got WIAA Director Mike Holbreeze here again for the third year in a row. We're able to get him up here in our booth at halftime, and so you want to hear what he has to say at halftime as the Knights will kick this ball up high, taking about the 25-yard line, and he breaks through, and he's got room to run on that far side, but he's going to get swallowed up, and he's going to get across midfield as he wasn't contained well after he caught that ball. And Meridian's going to get the ball inside Knight territory all the way down to the Knight 43-yard line.
Turns it into Royal territory. Tackle
for the Knights, number 35, J.C. Carrillo, I think, was the guy that brought him down.
32
But definitely a breakdown in coverage. That's the reason the Knights kicked that ball short and high, is to make sure the coverage is there. He caught that ball near the sideline, took a little step to the inside, and then stayed outside. Gets into Knight territory. So the Knights defense got to come up big here to prevent the Trojans from knotting things up before the halftime break. 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Let's see if the Knights can get some pressure on us. Burkett will roll out to his right, and he's going to let it go down that far right side. Has a man there, and it's going to come off his hands. That's Vandenhawk
goes long.
And falls incomplete. Corbin Christensen in coverage. Minute 52 left to go in the first half. Second down and 10. They'll place the ball at the 43-yard line on the far hash.
Second and 10. Ball's at the 43 of Royal.
All right. 3 receivers near side to the right. Burkett on his own. Looks to throw across the middle, and it's knocked down by Isaac Ellis. Great athletic play intended across the middle there. It's going to fall incomplete. It's intended for Logan, number 1.
Broken up by number 22.
He's been a real target for Burkett all day long. He doesn't necessarily show up in their stats as a major target. as much as Vandenhoek, Hemingway, and Schleimer. But they've been trying to get to him, get him the ball up that seam, and Isaac Ellis does a great job reaching over the top and batting it down. Not much time off the clock with these passing situations. Still 1:47 seconds left till the half. 3rd down and 10 for the Trojans from the Knight 43-yard line.
This time Burkett looks to roll to his right, rolls to his left, comes up the middle, avoids some pressure. He's still on his feet. He's going to throw it. It's there, and Dang Vandenhoek is just open. He gets it right on the money, and he gets brought down, but inside the 20-yard line down to the 15.
Tackled by Juan Ojeda.
The ability for Burkett to scramble around and still keep his eyes downfield really has been the thing that's kept them in this game against the Knights. When I talked to Coach Ames earlier in the week, he said, you know, the whole idea is we knew we had a gem right here with Burkett, and we had to build the rest of the team up around him and get him to be able to play at his level.
1st and 10 from the Knight 15-yard line. Burkett in shotgun. He's getting forced inside. He comes up to the middle, still on his feet. He's got lots of speed inside the 10, 5, and is he going to get in? They're going to call it. Touchdown, Simon Burkett. You know, we just didn't know what to think about this kid coming in.
I did.
And I can tell you, I can see, I said it before, I can see what recruiters saw in him. Real nifty, slick football player, and a lot of speed. Avoiding, because the Knights have a lot of speed. So he's showing his athleticism and his football skill in this first half. As the extra point to tie this up is getting set up to be attempted.
With the extra point attempt.
Galliano, the extra point kicker. Good snap, and the kick is up and signaled. No good. It went to the right. So that's something they don't want to see, but keeps that score at 13. So a minute 11 left to go in the first half. Knights still lead, but less. 14-13. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Napa Auto Parts, we know that trucks are as varied as their owners. From small imports and full-size pickups to vans large and small, even bigger rigs. If you own a truck, Napa has more of what you need than anybody. So no matter what truck you drive, we've got the part or accessory for you. Well, almost every truck. At Napa Auto Parts, you'll find the largest selection of different parts and accessories available anywhere, and the most knowledgeable people in the business. Great products, great prices, and great people. That's Napa.
So the missed extra point by the Trojans on that score is going to leave the score 13 with the Knights 14. So a slight lead. Still have the Knights with a minute 11 left to go in this first half.
Back to number 5, Cole Roberts, number 8.
It's actually Taylor Snook, number 99.
Not Galliano, you're right. 99. It's going to take it right about the 20-yard line. Lorenzo Marek steps to the outside, comes to the inside, and gets good coverage across the 30 to the 31-yard line. So that's where the Knights will have a minute 3 left before this half ends to see if they can find a way to sneak some more points on the board.
They're going to have the ball on their own 31-yard line on the right hash. 1st down and 10. We'll see if the Knights press here or try to make something happen with just a minute left, or if they're a little more conservative and want to get into the halftime break with that 1-point lead.
Knights will bring 3 receivers near side to the left. Isaac Ellis in the inside slot. Jenks in shotgun. The handoff to the right side to, he's still on his feet. That's Alonso Hernandez still on it outside across midfield down to the inside. Going to get driven out of bounds near the 35-yard line. No flags down. And a big hard run by the junior running back, number 34, Alonso Hernandez.
They're going to say stepped out of bounds where?
They're putting it on the 36-yard line. But that's
33-yard gain.
36-yard line, 1st and 10.
At the 36-yard line.
Well, I think you'll see the Knights trying to press here after that big play. Biggest play from scrimmage for the Knights. 33 yards.
Same formation, 3 same receivers to the left. Jenks in shotgun. This time, with Lorenzo Myrick in the backfield, and he puts his hand over the ball to secure it, gets it down to about the 32-yard line, just a few yards.
He'll pick
3 or 4 yard
3
gain.
or 4. We'll see where they spot it.
40 seconds and counting as the Knights are trying to quickly move to get the next play off. 30 seconds remaining. Jenks takes the shotgun snap. Quick throw out to Angel Frias on the right side.
Bounds.
And he's out of bounds inside the 25. We'll see where they mark it, but it's going to be a 1st and 10 with 27 seconds left to go in the half with a 14-13 lead.
4 catches for 72 yards for Farias. And the ball's going to be on the right hash, 24-yard line, 27 seconds left. The Knights still have all 3 timeouts. All 3 timeouts.
1st and 10 from the 24.
Myrick still the running back in there on the left hip. Jenks will roll to his right, left. Now he rolls to his right, lets that ball go. It's caught by Cormac Christensen. He's going to get stopped just short, though, about the 2 or the 1 yard line. A good sure-handed tackle by number 21. That's Hemingway.
All the way down to the 1 yard line.
But there's still 18 seconds left to go, and the Knights have it all the way down on the 1 yard line quickly. And we're going to have a timeout as Coach wants to talk this over.
Yeah, I would
18
too.
seconds left to go in the half. Knights threatening. We'll take a break. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Your day means getting from point A to point B, as in bank or ballet. G for gym, W for work. When what you drive needs tires or service, get to Point S, Tire and Auto. A trusted neighbor with the right tires for how and where you drive, and certified techs to take care of what you drive. So you get to all the points in your day and home again safely. Get to the point. Point S Tire and Auto Service. Expert service guaranteed.
You need so you can focus on what
everyone will break their timeout huddle. The Knights have the ball 1st and goal with the ball on the 1 yard line. 18 seconds left to go in the first half. They'll roll up in a straight I formation with Jenks under. They'll lead play to Hernandez, and he's going to bowl his way in for a touchdown on a lead play on the left side of the line, followed by Jack Diaz at fullback.
Yeah, you know, that's a lot of beef up front for the Knights. That's a tough thing to stop. And I think almost the feeling was inevitable that we were going to score on that 1st and goal. Only used 3 seconds of clock there.
I thought that against the Seahawks too, though, buddy. So
only used 3 seconds of clock there. So there will be a kickoff from the Knights to the Trojans.
Osvaldo
follow this
Guerrero.
extra point attempt.
Good snap, and the kick is up and signal good. 14 seconds left. The Knights have a 21-13 lead. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about.
So the Knights going to kick off. They're going to want to prevent, obviously, anything catastrophic here with 14 seconds left with a 21-13 lead.
Trojans will send Logan and Stewart, number 14, back deep.
Kept turning the field mic up, wondering what was wrong, but it was just
quiet.
Very quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, both teams anticipating these last 14 seconds. There's no doubt about it.
Arlen Stewart, number 14.
Quintero
gonna kick
punches
it deep.
it high and deep, all the way back inside the 5 yard lines. Comes off the hands of the runner. He's going to step left and right, looking for somewhere to run, but he's going to get brought down by Tyler Allred, turned in by Johnny Guadarrama.
He's going to pick up 1 yard as he tried to catch the ball at the 5 yard line. It bounces around. By the time he gets it, a couple Knights there, and it's Allred that brings him down.
Now, this will be interesting to see if
you've got to figure that they're going to take a knee and get into the halftime break here. I guess
Coach Ames' style would be take a knee. With Burkett's talent, you wonder if they'd do something. So Knights will be prepared.
I can tell you what the traditional thing to do would be. I can't tell you what Coach Bob Ames is going to do with his 44 years of head coaching experience.
Under center, and he will just hand the ball off on the right side to Vandenhoek, and he's going to get thrown down by Isaac Ellis to end the half.
Nice job, Isaac.
And we'll stop that threat. The Knights will end this first half with a score of 21-13. We'll take us a quick break and be right back, and we'll have Mike Colbree's interview coming up. Stay close. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Mud, no problem. Bugs, no problem. Nasty road salt, no problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the Knights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the Dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Trunk Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
Okay. I'm here with Mike Colbree, Executive Director of the WIAA. Thanks for making time for us. We've made this a bit of a tradition, and I'm happy with that.
Well, I think it's probably one that starts with the Knights being successful. What do you think?
I think you and I have very little to do with it, but I'm glad it's the case. So we've this is our third time in a row we've had a chance to interview you, and I was thinking about what questions I would ask. I thought, well, maybe I've asked all the questions, but there's some things I actually would like a little bit of an update on, maybe some of the things that have been going on. One of the things is, what's the future of the Tacoma Dome and the WIAA football state championship weekend?
Well, Michael, you know, this is the second year that we took semifinals outside, and we had to do that because the Dome needed to raise its rates, and it just got too much to be in here 2 weekends in a row.
Right.
So we're here for a while for finals, and they want us to be here for finals. As you may not know, they are doing a bunch of remodeling here, and it'll start big time here once this event is over.
I had heard that rumor, but I didn't know exactly what that entailed, I suppose.
Right.
Seats and whatnot.
Seats and a little bit of reconfiguration on the inside, different locker room situations and things like that,
Okay.
but it won't impact the future as long as the association wants to keep playing finals in here.
Great. Okay, good. Good to know. Because maybe we can do this a fourth year.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
That's
so
the goal.
Here's another thing we talked about in the past. There's been a lot of talk about competitive balance and some things that the ideas kicked around to try to make that a little bit better, maybe keep some of the teams from folding maybe in some schools, and to keep the better teams with ability to have some competitive games. How's that gone? What do you think the going on there?
I think it's right now, Michael, we've seen kind of the front edge of that, which is trying to schedule regular season ball games so that teams of equitable competition opportunity are playing against each other, and that so we're headed into next year, kind of the second season of that going on. Is that as pervasive as we would think it would be to be more helpful to the sport itself? Not yet, but the message is getting out. The second phase is classification, because classification does drive that, as well as allocations. In other words, the number of slots that each part of the state gets into the state tournament. And those are being discussed by two different groups that the association has put together, two different committees, one dealing with the governance structure of the association and the other dealing with classification. And I think there's some really good progress being made there as well. But there's no doubt that I guess I look at it from the perspective is that our responsibility as an association is to make sure that the game is safe and fair for the kids, and that secondly the game itself can get safer, and then who wins and loses as a byproduct of that should be at least somewhere down the pack as far as the concern.
Sure. Well, I was going to ask you some questions about allocations and some of those kinds of things. You know, we look on our side, one of the things that was big and seems odd to me, I know it makes sense to some of the schools, but because of allocations, you have something like the MCC conference in the Columbia Basin deciding to pull themselves out of District 5 and realign with District 8. Seems to me like that's all about getting an extra allocation. So obviously that's something, and other things like that are on the radar, and so there's some talk about trying to come up with some ways to maybe manage that more effectively, or maybe, I don't know if eliminate the need to make some of those realignments and look at it from maybe a higher perspective.
And that's exactly what's happening, Michael, and that's what I was alluding to in the previous comment that I made, is the fact that, you know, we can get maybe one or two sentences into the discussion about classification or competitive balance without having the next sentence be allocations.
Sure.
Because allocations drive a lot of issues. If you look at what happened for the current classification cycle we're in, one school decided it was going to opt up, and that changed the whole situation as to who was in which classification.
Sure.
Up and down. So the board is looking at, okay, should the board take more responsibility for determining classifications and even maybe league alignment? And that, like I said, that discussion is going on. But I'm encouraged about the fact that people are starting to realize, yeah, we can talk about classifications and we can talk about league alignment, but when it comes right down to it, it's really about how many slots,
how many opportunities
are going to be available for postseason play.
Right.
And one of the things that one of the committees is talking about is, well, you know what? Maybe we should get away from saying that we're going to put the same number of schools in each classification and just saying we're going to have that hard number that we used to have.
Go back to the hard number.
Back to the hard number. And if there's a huge number of schools in one's classification, then maybe they get a bracket that has more teams going on rather than the traditional 16-team bracket.
Like a 32-team.
32 or maybe even 24.
Oh, sure.
Having a crossover playoff sort of situation.
Well, you know, because the other situation I look at is the 3A classification. There's very few 3A schools on our side of the state. I think there's maybe only 8 3A schools on our side of the state. And so then that makes, that whole thing is difficult for that classification. Obviously, when they're more balanced on either side of the state, it's a little easier. And so there's a lot of things go into it. I don't envy that committee, I suppose. But I do think that, I guess I would agree that maybe, or I would echo my sentiment that having more WIAA influence in that is something maybe that would help.
And it's, one thing I've learned about Washington is that this is a state that's real proud of league alignments and who's in which leagues. I mean, every league has a name. When you go to other states, leagues don't necessarily have names like they do. So Washington has a rich culture in being prideful of its leagues. So we've got to be really careful to maintain that commitment to that culture, yet understand that there has to be a more transparent way of how issues are being driven from
So just thinking as you're talking, maybe leagues don't change as much, but maybe the way we look at districts is maybe something that could be addressed. I'm sure the committee's thinking about all those things.
They are, and they really are. They're talking about, well, should we go from districts to regions, sections? Because over in your area of the state, Michael, I mean, you've got all of a sudden those 2B schools that used to be part of WI District 9 are now part of District 5, the district that Royal's a part of. And that District 9 now is down to 1B schools, and I think there are about 11 maybe schools. So we've got this shifting going on, and then all of a sudden, like you said, you've got the MCC moving up into District 8. There's some shifting going on out there that really is allowed by association rules and regulations, but really is seen in more of a microcosm rather than a 30,000-foot issue. And it's time to have that 30,000-foot view that might have tentacles down into
at least lend
level
some structure to some of those more regionalized decisions.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing. In basketball, it's been, is it 2 years now with the RPI for that? And there's always talk about if that's successful, that maybe those tentacles go down into football. What's the discussion on RPI for seeding in football, and how is there a game plan for how that might look, or is it still on the table?
It's on the table for not only football, but other sports, Michael. And not only that, that committee that's been dealing with that from the very beginning meets again on December the 10th. And they are going to look at the data that's available, because we've been running a dummy site, in a sense, that's
to see how it all would play out
in football,
right?
To see how it worked. And so football coaches are involved with that. Might the RPI system be used the same in all sports like it's used in basketball? No, but some form is being discussed and being used in other sports. And like I said, the committee meets here in about a week, and we'll make a decision on where they want to go next. I think it's next Friday.
Yeah, I think some of the things you're looking at, that also still dovetail into your whole talk about classifications and leagues and districts, because right now I would say, okay, you're looking at it going, okay, you still keep the league allocations the same, but then once you get those 16 teams, then you do an RPI to seed where they are 1 through 16. But then if you're looking at shaking up the whole system, then it's hard to know even where to, what direction to head, I suppose.
And I think people have realized from the very beginning, if you start paying really close attention to a strict RPI, that has a tendency to diminish the value of the league.
Yes, right.
And if you diminish the value of the league, that's going to impact regular season scheduling, which isn't a good thing, because most leagues are geographically driven, and we don't want schools traveling all over just
to try to get a game that's going to increase the RPI, because they're in a league that may not give them enough of an RPI. Even if they do well in it, they may be the #1 team out of the league. And if you do straight RPI, they may not make it into the playoffs anymore.
You got it.
So it's a complicated mess.
It's a complicated situation, and people are really committed to seeing how it works. But remember, how we got here is that people didn't have faith in the old draw criteria that we're going to be using this year, and maybe a couple more years, because obviously the only time people tried to figure out what the draw criteria meant is when their team got drawn into a certain area.
Course.
And by then the emotion has taken over that it's difficult to explain what really is a very complicated draw criteria that we've been using.
For sure. So, good. Next year we'll get an update on all of that.
You will.
Hopefully.
Yes, you will.
I don't mean to. Was there any wood to knock on a little bit here for Micah? Okay, now the important things. You made an announcement recently. Tell me about your announcement.
Well, Michael, this is my 25th year in the state of Washington with the association, and I'm getting to that point where it's time to think about next, and next is going to be after the 18-19 school year.
So a year and a half out.
A year and a half out. My board asked me to be sure and give them at least a year and a half notice. I've talked to a lot of different people who have gone through what I'm going to be going through, and a year and a half seemed to be a good time frame, and so I've indicated that following the 18-19 school year, I will be retiring. It'll be 26 years in state association work here in Washington, another 11 in 2 other state associations. That'll be 37 years, and then another 11 in the classroom. So 48 years in education. It's been a great, fun time, and I haven't bought the horse, haven't even looked for a horse, haven't even thought about what kind of saddle I want to use, but that horizon
is... But you're going to be riding it at some point.
One of those points, yeah.
So, obviously, that's a wealth of experience, knowledge, kind of knowing how things work, and even knowing at some point where the skeletons are maybe a little bit, that's going to change, for the association. So there's got to be some things that you're hoping maybe to accomplish in that time frame that you have left. Anything specific that's a priority in your mind?
When the board and I have talked, Michael, the board that hired me, obviously,
is long gone.
All of them are gone when I was in about 4 years in. Okay, so a lot of these folks that are on the board now, or are district directors now, or athletic administrators, or some administrators, or have retired themselves.
Right.
But when I came here, I thought there were 3 issues that needed to be addressed. Number 1 was the eligibility process.
Okay.
Number 2 was the violation process. in order to create consistency, because each league, and there are 40 of them, and each WI district, and there are 9 of them, has a little bit different process and a different way of looking at those things.
Right.
We've been able to stabilize eligibility, and we now require each eligibility member to be certified. We also have the ability to have more of a say in the performance of the eligibility chair that's hired by each one of those 9 districts. But the one thing that's left is the governance structure, the fact that we need to be more transparent top to bottom.
Gotcha.
So that's left, and then healthy culture. The strategic plan that we're in right now is due to ride off with me and after the 18-19 school year. And that'll be a great time to be wrapped up with what we believe is really important to our member schools, and that's healthy culture. That means when the kids from Royal walk into another school, why do they feel good there, and why do they not in some cases?
Sure.
So we're trying to make sure that every time a kid, no matter what school they're in, when they walk into another school, they know they're going to be welcome, they know that they're going to have a safe, fun, yet competitively strong environment.
Gotcha.
And so those 2 issues, governance and healthy culture, are going to be the things that the board and I are going to be really working hard on. And then the board, of course, will be going on to figure out how they're going to select their
transition process,
their transition and their next director.
Sure. So you talked about eventually getting on that horse, and you don't know. Well, tell me where that horse is going to take you. What are your retirement plans? What are you hoping to do with your time, or are you looking on move on to other projects, or are you going to retire, or what are your plans?
I don't have any plans yet because I've got a year and a half of good, strong, tough, challenging, exciting work left, and I'll think about next when.
Let me rephrase that. What are your wife's plans for you?
Well, we have grandchildren. We have travel. I like to write.
Okay.
So who knows?
Sure.
My dad retired at 65. I'm going to be 70 when I retire.
Okay.
My dad retired and drove school bus until he was 82.
Wow.
I'm kind of carved out of that same ilk, and
right.
So I'll do something that involves people because I love being around people. I enjoy the excitement, and I love kids. Who knows?
Good. Well, hey, I really appreciate your time. It's been great talking to you. And we've got an exciting second half of action. It's been some exciting games all weekend. That 1B game scored 84 points, 84-60 yesterday. That was an exceptional game. O'Day came out, took care of their business, and had a good solid win. The game right before us looked really razor thin, and then Hawkinson kind of just opened things up. So here we are. The Knights have a 21-13 lead against a great quality Meridian team, and anticipate a great second half here.
Yeah, we've got a great second half left, and then of course we've got another game with the 2Bs with Liberty and Kalama coming in, and then Woodinville and Richland tonight.
It's going to be a dogfight,
This has been a really great slate of Gridiron Classic games, so that's kind of fun.
Well, we appreciate your time. We'll let you go. I know you got plenty of other things to deal with while you're here over the weekend, and keep all of these things running smoothly. But thanks again for the time, and enjoy your next year and a half.
Thanks, Michael.
From the most trusted name in the Columbia Basin comes Callahan Gravel. You'll love Callahan's rock-solid product. Multiple applications include driveways, roads, stackyards, and landscaping. A pothole's worst nightmare. Call Callahan Gravel at 346-2208 to get rocked.
It's your family road trip, your limousine, your business. It's what you drive. Take care of it at Point S Tire and Auto Service. For tires and expert service you can trust. Get to the point. Point S, expert service guaranteed.
Halftime stats.
Well, it was great to have another interview with Mike Colbrese, and the nice thing about him is he doesn't hold anything back. He answers your questions, and he gives you the time to, and he expresses kind of everything that's going on as far as he sees it. That committee stuff he's talking about, I mean, that's a heavy issue. There's a lot of debate, a lot of controversy, and he doesn't shy away from kind of talking about those things and the kind of things that are going on. Halftime stats for the Knights have a 21-13 lead, and it's been statistically very, very close for both teams. For the Knights, Sawyer Jinks has completed 12 out of 23 for 105 yards and a touchdown. And then Corbin Christensen had a pass for 44 yards and a touchdown. And so on the Meridian side, Simon Burkett, 13 completions out of 28 attempts, 132 yards and a touchdown. A 28-yarder was his long. He's been sacked once. The Knights have been able to protect Sawyer. He hasn't been sacked at all. On the rushing side of things, Simon Burkett, again, their leading rusher. He's got 6 carries for 30 yards, and his longest was that 14-yard touchdown. Excuse me. He's got 6 carries for a net of 16 yards. A net of 16 yards, but one of them was a touchdown. On that, it was a 15-yard touchdown. For the Knights, the lion's share of the running's gone through Alonzo Hernandez. He's got 7 carries for 59 yards. A 33-yard was his long, and he scored one of the touchdowns for the Knights on the ground. Lorenzo Myrick's got 2 carries for 8 yards. On the receiving side, Corbin Christensen, 6 catches, 58 yards. Angel Farias, 5 catches, 78 yards.
The second half is underway as Meridian will receive the ball at about their own 10-yard line, straight up the middle, and he is brought down right about the 25-yard line after about a 12, 15-yard return.
For the Trojans, while we're getting teams on and off, for the Trojans receiving, Vandenhoek's been the guy, 5 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown. His long is 28. Tony Schleimer's got 3 catches, but just for 10 yards. And they're the only guys with multiple catches for the Trojans so far.
Meridian going from our right to left. Burkett looking to throw, does across the middle, breaks on Vandenhoek, and does he catch that? He does catch it as Juan Ojeda tries to hatchet that ball out, but he brings it in. Long pass and catch. That's a 20-yard gain out to the 45-yard line.
20 yards.
First and 10 for Meridian.
Yeah, again to Vandenhoek. He's quick, and he gets into open space. Ojeda's had a hard time keeping him from catching the ball. He's done a good job keeping him from getting any yards after the catch for the most part. But a good first down to open up here for the Trojans. They move the ball out to the Knights' to their own 45-yard line.
3 receivers set wide to the left. Burkett has Roberts off to his left. He'll sprint out to the left out of shotgun. Lets it go down that left side. Wide open
man.
And a huge coverage breakdown, and he's going to get in for a touchdown. That is number 1. Dawson Logan, in a big breakdown in coverage for the Knights, as there was nobody even close. And the easiest pass and catch. Now, Angel Farias closed ground really fast, but he was from the complete opposite side of the field.
He wasn't the guy in coverage. See if the Trojans decide to go for 2 here. I suspect that they probably will.
Should, yeah.
Since they missed an extra point earlier, if they go for 2 and get it, they will draw this thing even. If not, they'll be trailing the Knights by 2 points. And early, the Meridian coaching staff is going to call a timeout so they can think this through, make sure they do the right thing here. We'll take a quick timeout as well. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
From the most trusted name in the Columbia Basin comes Callahan Gravel. You'll love Callahan's rock-solid product. Multiple applications include driveways, roads, stackyards, and landscaping. A pothole's worst nightmare. Call Callahan Gravel at 346-2208 to get rocked.
The ball down at the 3-yard line for the 2-point conversion, which, if successful, will tie this game up. Burkett has Roberts to his right in shotgun. looking to throw it on that far side, and is it caught? He got his hands underneath that. They call it a catch as he shoved off. And
21 Hemingway. From our angle, we couldn't tell if he caught it clean or kind of trapped it, but the official was right there. His back was to the official a little bit, but the official felt comfortable enough to call it a catch, and they get the 2-point conversion and knot this thing all up. With just under a minute into this third quarter, they've scored on a big 55-yard play and had the 2-point conversion to tie this thing at 21-21. The Knights will have their first offensive possession of the second half, and we are in a battle.
Absolutely. We will take a break and be right back. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Mud, no problem. Bugs, no problem. Nasty road salt, no problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the Knights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the Dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Truck Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
Low driving kickoff going to get taken by Lorenzo Myrick about the 20 and gets all the way out across the 35 near the 40-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it at the 37.
Still decent field position. It'll be on the right hash. And they've got to come out strong offensively here and try to match what Meridian did in short order. They don't have to be in a hurry.
They just need to execute.
But they need to execute. Don't panic. Still run the ball. We ran it effectively there to close out the second quarter.
Two receivers near side to the left. Jenks has Hernandez on his left hip, and they will hand to him. Breaks across the inside, but he's brought down by number 32. Got his hands around his feet, and it slowed him up long enough. Schleimer stopped him low, so he couldn't break out of that for no gain. Second down and 10.
And that's what, I mean, I'm not rooting for a no-gain play, but keeping them honest with the running game, I think is important for play action.
Jenks in shotgun. This time looks to throw quick on that slant, and Corbin Christensen catches it, brought down immediately to bring it out to the 43-yard line for about a 6-yard gain. Third down and 4. Third down and 4.
The ball out to the 43-yard line. Third down. Third down, 4 yards to go. Ball's in the 40.
The Trojans have stayed in a 4-man front the entire day so far. 3 linebackers.
Jenks takes the shotgun slant, double pump move, and oh boy! Threw it on a line on the double move, and Galliano went down, and Corbin Christensen had to jump over him to make the catch, and it just knocked them both to the ground. Incomplete. 4th down and 4. The Knights will send their punt team on the field.
If Jenks would have got a little more air underneath that, maybe Corbin could have got to it as Galliano, tripped and fell and then jumped up pumping his fist. But really, that was just a matter of a...
And the Knights are going to...
Knights move?
Well, they just fell out of a stance, and it's going to roll it back 5 more yards.
Hemingway set back on about his own 25-yard line to try to return this punt. And he'll probably scoot up 5 yards to the 30 as the Knights' line of scrimmage is going to be pushed back 5 yards to the 33.
9:51 left to go in the third quarter, all tied up at 21.
False start called against Royal. 4th and 9.
Otero gets that kickoff, and they run into him, and you're going to have a flag. My goodness, they're not going to call that.
Are they not?
Now they are. No,
okay.
Now he drops it.
Now, is it going to be?
Now it might just be a running into.
Is it going to be a 5 or a 15? That's the question.
The way he threw it, I think it's going to be a 5.
It's a pretty good punt. Gets it inside the 20-yard line. They're just going to call running into the kicker instead of roughing the kicker. It looks to me.
Now, if you wouldn't have fallen out of your stance, that would have changed the course of that.
Yeah, that would have been.
So those are the sort of things that the Knights have had trouble with here in the late season, but been able to win their games by such a margin that it hasn't affected the outcome.
They haven't. What are they doing? The officials trying to decide whether they're going to have them re-kick or whether they're going to decline the penalty and
just take
let the Trojans keep the ball. If they let them play stand.
Wiley's pointing like he just wants the play to be back there on inside the 20 to the 19.
If they let the play stand, the Trojans will get the ball on the 19-yard line, their own 19-yard line.
They're trying desperately to.
Because if it's just running into the kicker, it's only a 5-yard penalty. It was 4th down and 9, so it would just bring up 4th down and 4. And it was actually a pretty decent punt by C.J. Quintero, and there was no return. So you don't want to risk them having a big return if you decide to kick it again from 5 yards closer. So the Knights defense now, time for them to come up big. Giving a shout out to the whole crew of former Knights. I guess once a night, always a night, that are sitting in Rexburg, all sitting together watching this game and listening to us. So hopefully they're having some good snacks, and hopefully they're cheering for the Knights. The Knights can come up big here on defense, get the ball back into the hands of the offense, and come out with a victory here.
1st and 10 on the 20 for the Trojans. Going from our left to right. Burkett tries to roll to his right, gets it out.
Space.
And lots of space. Number 21 is down that far side. He's still in bounds. Down to the 40, to the 30. Christensen has an angle on him and tries to knock the ball out, but he stays in bounds as he tried. What do we got here?
We're going to say he was out of bounds.
He stepped out of bounds. Christensen went for the hatchet and didn't get it, but they did step out of bounds all the way down to the 10-yard line on that. Again, looks like a defensive breakdown to where a man coming out of the backfield, wide open, lots of room to run and lots of speed.
Well, like I said,
what do we got here? They're walking back like there's a flag. Is there a flag all the way back here?
Let's see.
Wow. They're going to call holding.
Oh, the flag is back on the 35-yard line. So the holding was called 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, beyond the line of scrimmage.
Right.
When they walk back 10 yards, it's going to be a net 5-yard gain. It'll be 1st down and 5 for the Trojans, but from their own 25 instead of from the inside the Knights' 10-yard line. So that was after the catch. It would have been on the receiver that was out in front as the running back filled underneath. As he was trying to block, they're going to call him for a hold, and that's a huge turn of events for both teams.
For both teams, exactly. So they'll place it at the 25-yard line. And
wow. All right.
Now they got first down up. Now, wasn't it 2nd down on that play? But maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think it was 1st down.
1st down.
So it'd be first down
and 4.
About 4, yeah.
Instead of 1st and goal.
So let's not make that mistake again. Holding us to calls. It's brought back to the 25-yard line. 1st and 4.
3 receivers near side to the right. Burkett.
Pressure's
going to
coming.
Step up. He avoids the pressure again. Gets to the outside. It's off to the races across the 35. Going to get driven out of bounds. He's going to get a 1st down and more. We'll see where they mark it. As the Knights have not been able to contain him in the pocket. He gets out up the front. He gets out the side. Very elusive. 9-10 left to go in the 3rd quarter. All tied up at 21. The ball is placed on the 38-yard line of the Trojans on the far hash, going from our left to right.
9 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. We're all knotted up 21-21.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Burkett will give to Roberts a double reverse back to Burkett, who's going to throw it down this side and knock
coverage
away.
Is good.
They're going to say because Lorenzo Myrick was in coverage, and they're going to say because
you don't have to look. You don't have to look anymore. You don't have to look. They have to call that by contact, and I don't know.
There was contact.
As much as there's been some contact real close around the plays that they haven't called, I don't know. I struggle with that one. But it's going to be pass interference against the Knights. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, so it's going to move it from the 38 out beyond Knight territory down to the Knight 48-yard line. Right?
47.
47. Whatever.
Close enough.
I thought it was pretty good coverage. It was a double pass, and then it was like a double reverse that was then flipped back to Burkett. Burkett threw the ball downfield. I'm not sure I would have thrown it because the coverage was on it.
Yeah.
But they're going to get that interference call.
Boy, he puts the ball on the money, doesn't he?
So the Trojans definitely have the momentum after scoring on their opening drive of this third quarter and on the move again.
Shotgun snap taken.
There's some holding going
Throwing on that far side. Farias going to get. Is he going to get it?
Intercepted.
Does he get it? Intercepted. Knights intercept by Angel Farias in the inside coverage as Burkett went ahead and floated it up, hoping his man could make the play, and Angel Farias stepped in front of that. Huge turn of events on
let's keep this momentum swinging after that great play. That ball was, again, that was one that was floated up, and Farias made the play that the receiver couldn't.
Wow.
Corrals it in at the 25-yard line. They'll have the ball on their own right hash. The Knights going from our right to left on the 25-yard line. First down and 10. 8 minutes and 52 seconds left in the third quarter. Game all tied up.
Lorenzo Myrick on the left hip of Jenks. Two receivers near side to the left. Takes the snap, steps up, throws across the middle, open. Lorenzo Myrick caught at the 40 and gets all the way out to the 46-yard line before he's brought down. Right up the center seam of the field, out of the backfield. First and 10 for the Knights.
21-yard gain.
8:43 left to go in the third quarter.
21-yard gain.
That's his first catch. And the couple of times he's been targeted, it's been kind of a flare out of the backfield. That time they get him right up the seam, kind of the route you would expect a tight end to run.
Yeah.
And does a great job catching that ball, picking up a few yards, and getting out to the 46-yard line.
Jenks will take the shotgun snap. The give to Hernandez, steps inside his blockers and brought down well by number 33, but he gets a few yards. Number 33 is Dylan Hickok, but he gets about 5-yard gain, second down and 5.
That's 9 carries for 64 yards, and it moves it just into Meridian territory. Play clock hasn't started yet.
There, they got it.
So the Knights are going to have plenty of time here as they've already broke the huddle.
Second and 6.
Not sure why it took so long to start the play clock. The ball was spotted in plenty of time.
Jenks takes the snap, play action to Hernandez, lets it go on that. He had to let it go just a little soon. It falls incomplete at the feet of Corbin Christensen. He had two men coming at him, just not able to get quite enough on it coming out of that outbreak for Christensen. And it falls incomplete. Third down and a long 5.
Knights really need to convert here to preserve this drive. Not deep enough into Meridian territory for it to be 4-down territory.
Tight cluster here on the left. Motion out of the backfield by Myrick. Jenks looks up the middle, does throw in the middle, and it's knocked down, intended for Corbin Christensen. Number 33 steps up, Dylan Hickok, and punches that ball down to the ground. So the Knights will have a 4th down right about at midfield, and they are trotting the punt team out onto the field.
For Meridian, number 21, Lucas Hemingway.
Hemingway, again, will be back to return this punt. C.J. Quintero will receive the snap on about his own 38-yard line. Hemingway back to about his 15. No rush, setting up the return clearly here.
Right about the 15, Logan Gilbert makes him step in, makes another man miss. They step up one man, and Juan Ojeda is able to bring him down about the 31-yard line, but a good 20-yard return or so by Hemingway. So it brings it out to the 31-yard line for the Trojans.
Juan Ojeda with the tackle. Return of 31 yards.
So we'll see what the Knights want to do here. You know, they've been trying to get pressure on Burkett, and when they have, he's been able to flush out of the pocket and make plays with his legs and with his arm.
First and 10 at the 31.
Knights got to make a big play on defense here. They got to corral him a little bit.
Isaac Ellis showing some pressure, and he's coming from the outside. The pocket closes in, but he lets it go wide open again. And no, Vandenhoek just dropped it when there was blown coverage, and he had 6 points guaranteed.
Juan Ojeda was lagging about 8 yards behind.
Close on the coverage.
And the field announcer says Ojeda close on the coverage. That's not exactly the case. So Vandenhoek was wide open down the middle of the field and just dropped.
Yeah.
Just dropped a touchdown. He's fast enough. If he caught that, nobody was going to catch him from the start he had.
2nd down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Bring it back. Try it again. 3 receivers wide to the left. Burkett throws it out. It's caught. Wrestled in by Isaac Ellis. He holds him long enough for Juan Ojeda to finish it up for just a minimal gain.
Dawson Logan. Ojeda tackling.
It's number 1, Logan. Receiver and also the backup quarterback.
Yeah, really.
So you never know what they're going to do when they kind of get the ball out to him quick. Although that was a forward pass. It would be in front of the quarterback, but behind the line of scrimmage, and he's wrestled down without any gain.
Yeah,
big play for both teams. 3rd down and 10 here with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
3rd down and 10 from the 31.
Quick snap.
Quick snap. Yeah,
it's going to be a penalty marker.
Have to run out. A penalty marker flies, and he's going to get driven out of bounds. Ultimately,
So can the Knights decline the penalty? That's the question.
Alonzo Hernandez drives him out of bounds for a big loss.
Is it a dead ball penalty, or can the Knights decline it? That's the question. Because if they can decline it, they'll get actually more out of the play than they would have out of the penalty, and it would burn it down.
Yep.
So instead of being 3rd down and 15, it'll be 4th down and about 16.
Illegal shift.
So the Knights are able to decline the illegal shift. And finally, the Knights are able to knock Burkett out of bounds. And for about a 6-yard loss, it's going to bring up maybe even a 7-yard loss. It's going to bring up 4th down and nearly 17. Angel Farias is going to be back to return. We'll see if Burkett kicks it to him. Now the Knights need to be careful here because even though it's a long down and distance situation, Burkett's the quarterback, and you never know.
Good snap. Gets it away. Nice high kick. Farias is going to take it on his own 45. Man's right on him, but he makes him miss around that far side. Steps out. He's on the 50 to the 45. He's going to get driven out of bounds, but he's going to get it back to about the 40-yard line of Meridian.
About 17 yards on that return. Sets up inside the Meridian Trojan territory down to the 41-yard line. The ball will be on the right hash. 6 minutes, 23 seconds. Game tied at 20 in the 3rd quarter. Game tied at 21. The Trojans have scored in this half. The Knights have not.
Sorry. Ball boy just took a spill. It was kind of funny.
1st and 10.
6:23 left to go. Knights have the ball on their Meridian 41-yard line. They're head from our right to left. This time to give to Hernandez on the right side. Lots of room to run. Busting out to the outside. Come back to the inside to follow his blockers inside the 30, down close to the 20-yard line.
Alonzo Hernandez rang out.
Looks like it's going to be about a 19-yard carry. So the Knights really starting to get in rhythm with the running game a little bit.
Ball placed on the 22-yard line.
10 carries for 83 yards for Hernandez. So 2 out of his first 3 carries were for a loss. But now he's averaging a total overall 10 yards per carry. Ball spotted just outside the red zone at about the 22-yard line on the right hash.
Myrick takes the place of Hernandez. Jenks this time will give to Myrick. Steps up in the middle, goes to the outside. Good move. They're going to call a hold
on C.J. Quintero,
and that's what the call is going to be, and it's going to come back as he gets. I should have kept calling the play, but he gets all the way down near to the goal line. But we saw that one was coming back right away.
Yeah, that's a shame because I think that maybe he would have got out to Lorenzo, but Lorenzo would have got a pretty good gain out of it.
All the way down inside the 10-yard line, near the goal line.
Yeah.
And that is on the 22-yard line, so it's going to be really a 10-yard penalty. To be first down, but first down 20 now.
And when you're coming in, these guys would be hard to block. They're quick feet, they're agile, they're not real big, but they're athletic. And trying to get them from sliding off that block, held on a little bit and allowed Myrick to get to the outside edge. And it's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
First and 20.
Which will bring up first down and 20 for the Knights from the Meridian 33-yard line. Ball near the left hash. Jinks going to be in shotgun with Hernandez to his right. First down.
Jinks in shotgun. The play action to the left. Now rolls to his right. Lets it go. And Quintero's down there.
Pass
and they're going to go pass interference as he went for the ball.
He got tripped up as
Hemingway.
Logan. Was it Hemingway?
It was 21. It was 21
okay.
Hemingway who they got their feet tangled, and CJ went to the ground. And
finally, one goes in our favor.
And that's going to move that forward. 1st and 10, automatic, because it's a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down, if I'm correct.
Pass interference has been called against Meridian.
And we're right above Meridian's crowd, and they do not like the call.
Well, why would they?
And it will bring it down to about the 17-yard line.
Knights really got to capitalize here. They've got time.
It's not
I
an
think the run
first
game
down?
is.
I must be wrong because it's first and
pass interference, not necessarily an automatic first down.
5 yards to go for the Knights.
2nd down and 5 to go. They're going to get this figured out because I don't know if this is right.
Typically, it's a personal foul that's an automatic first down, or something dead ball that's a 15-yard penalty. Pass interference is that it should be first down though. Okay, so that was a first down play. So they don't burn the down. It will be first down, but it doesn't convert to an automatic first down. But it's going to be first down and 5 for the Knights.
The ball
from
is
the 17-yard line of the Trojans, left hash. Jinx and shotgun with Hernandez to his left.
5:30 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Takes the shotgun snap, hands to Hernandez, steps inside his block.
Nice move.
Still on his feet, but cut down just inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Even to the 13, they're going to mark that.
So he's going to pick up 4 yards.
Be real close to the first down. Second down and very short.
4, 2nd and 1.
2nd down and 1 for the Knights. And again, the whole playbook's open here, but the running game has been particularly effective for the Knights.
2nd and 1.
As Hernandez has really been able to pick and choose, find those seams that the offensive line has been creating.
I formation in the backfield, lead on the right side. Hernandez steps inside, a great block, and the only thing that keeps him from scoring is Hemingway brings him down inside the 10 near the 6-yard line. He's going to set up a 1st and goal for the Knights from the 6-yard line of the Trojans.
It's going to be a 7-yard gain to take it from the 13 down to the 6. Ball will be on the right hash for the Knights. 1st and goal from the Meridian Trojans 6-yard line. Hernandez has been in rhythm. His offensive line has been creating some seams, and he's been finding them. Not able to elude that last tackle to get into the end zone, but he's got 12 carries for 94 yards.
Again, I formation, Jenks under center. Again, the lead, same play this time. The linebacker tries to feel. Hernandez still on his feet inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. Good hard piece of running by Hernandez on that, as he was hit at the line of scrimmage by the linebacker coming up and able to get out of that tackle and make a couple yards.
I don't think there was any bad intentions on the tackle, but I always dislike it when they roll them after they've tackled them. So.
Not a big fan of the
ball's
roll.
Inside the 2-yard line at about the 1.5. 2nd down and goal. The Knights are going to stay in I formation.
All tight. Everyone bunched up. The give to Hernandez this time right up the middle. Puts his shoulder in. Does he get there? They call it touchdown. This side on this. Knights are going to punch that in at the 3:51 mark in the 3rd quarter.
Touchdown run. Touchdown, Royal Knights.
This time, straight up the center, right up the middle. Following his big left side guard, Rainer Byerly.
Extra points are all critical.
The extra point attempt on the hold from Corbin Christensen.
Osvaldo Guerrero set to kick the extra point. And we've got a flag. I think we might have a motion penalty.
You think it's against the Knights?
Well,
oh yeah, it is.
There was a delay as
I wondered if Vandenhoek got across the line early, but it's going to move the ball back 5 yards.
False start.
Still, obviously within a good range for Guerrero. It's the same swing of the leg, but a little more pressure, to be honest with you. Guerrero is just a sophomore. Done a great job this year. Coming into the regular season, he was 50 of 56. Coming into the playoffs, rather.
Good snap.
And blocked.
Extra point attempt is blocked.
So the Knights will keep it at 27. So Knights score with 3:51 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The score is 27 Knights, 21 Meridian. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com. capitalize on the extra point. Blocked right up the middle. Leaves the score at 27-21 with 3:51 left to go in the third quarter.
Number 24, Carlos Quintero.
Knights will kick from their own 40 from our right to left. Good high, deep kick. Taken all the way back inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Taken straight at the middle by Hemingway. Breaks to the outside, and he splits the defense just a little bit.
I thought the ball came out,
but he gets brought down about the 27, 28-yard line.
3-yard line.
There's a collective ooze from both sidelines as one thing, Hemingway was a step away from breaking out something big, and on the other side, he was a step away from having the ball jarred loose.
Yeah.
So it's going to have the Burkett's going to bring his guys out. The ball's going to be on their own 28-yard line on the left hash, first down and 10. 3 minutes and 43 seconds left in the third quarter. The Knights scored to go up 27-21, but had the extra point blocked, so looms large a little bit right now.
Burkett throws across the middle, and it's knocked down by Isaac Ellis, intended for Hemingway.
Great defense. Hemingway's getting up, looking around to see if there's a penalty marker down, but Ellis had good coverage. It just reached over with his length and swatted the ball down. Similar to what Corbin Christensen did last week on a big play against the Newport Grizzlies. Good position, and then just the length to reach out and swat the ball down. Second down and 10 now for the Trojans.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
They'll send 2 receivers wide, left and right. This time Burkett will have Robert to his right. Steps up to avoid the pressure. And
they might get him. They got him.
They just got him because Alonzo Hernandez was actually, that's Rams Gonzalez was there kind of spying him, and they're able to get Burkett back at the 20-yard line this time. They're going to say he gets out, to the 23.
He tried to make a spin move to get loose, and as he was spinning, Rams reached out and picked that foot and forced him to lose his balance and go down. It's going to be a loss of about 5 yards, bring up third down and 15 now, which doesn't mean a lot. Burkett's converted on some big plays. Long down and distance third down situations today will be big, though, for the Knights if they can find a way to slow them down here and get the ball back in the hands of their offense.
Burkett will have 2 receivers wide to the left. Looks to
they got a seam guy over the middle.
They got him. First down yardage out to the 40. And they got the ball to number 32, Tony Schleimer, right across the middle.
Schleimer lines up at
the 40-yard line.
Running back, sometimes at tight end. He's the guy they like to hit on that seam. And the Knights had a big opportunity there. And the defensive backfield of the Knights just wasn't able to do what they needed to do.
They convert on that long third down. Ball out to the 40-yard line, first down and 10, 2:30 and running in the third quarter. Knights lead 27-21.
Interesting thing here, number 4, Logan Gilbert in for the Knights. I don't see 85 Juan Ojeda into the game right now.
Burkett's looking to throw on that far side. Breaks free, but it's going to fall incomplete as the ball goes too far.
Down.
Where?
Right here at the pass attempt at the receiver. Did somebody reach out and grab him? Whoever was in the coverage, I think that's typically you would say that's going to be pass interference against the defense, unless there was a push off.
And the signal's pass interference on the defense.
15 yards, going to move the ball down into Knight territory, down to the 45-yard line. So penalties have really been hurting the Knights. I'm not sure who was on coverage on that, to be honest with you.
Brings it to the 45-yard line.
Curious to see if Juan Ojeda just needs a blow or if he's injured. I'd pick on the new guy. If I was Burkett, the ball's going to be at the 45-yard line of the Knights. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter. All the passing, this game's really taken a long time.
Burkett quickly looks on the left. A flag flies. It's caught by number 1, Dawson. Brought down on the Knights 40-yard line. But
you got to assume that's a motion or a formation penalty, something that would be against the Trojans. Didn't see any Knights come across the line of scrimmage, so I can't imagine that it would be against the defense.
It's good for 5 yards on the completion.
So the net result will be
false start.
10 yards. They didn't get the 5 yards. Instead, they go back 5 yards.
Still first down. Ball at midfield, first down and 15. 2:08 left to go in the third quarter.
Gosh, I feel like the bigger hole we put Burkett in, the more he's able to climb out of it. So, see what the Knights can do here.
You know, I'm going to say this right now that without an excellent quarterback like Burkett, this game is not close. That's just my estimation here, and he is really.
But the reality of the situation. Screen pass set up. The Knights bringing everybody.
33 breaks inside. It's going to get brought down all the way. He's going to move all the way to just across the 35, which is what he needed, down to the 33. They'll mark it at the 32, so it's good enough for a first down. On the 15 yards, he's going to get 17 or 18.
They take advantage of the pressure that the Knights are trying to put on and run that screenplay. As there was Knights had 4 guys breathing down Burkett's neck. He calmly just threw it over the top to the right-hand side on a screenplay. He had blockers out in front, picked up the first down, and moves the ball all the way to the Knight 32-yard line. They have the ball in the right hash. A minute and a half left in the third quarter. Burkett's going to be in shotgun with number 5, Roberts, to his right.
Takes the snap, gets flushed forward, and he's going to get across the original line of scrimmage. Actually,
don't let him get that
a few
stretch.
more yards.
Don't let him get that stretch. Number 6, Eddie.
Yeah, they brought it back to the 29-yard line.
Number 6, Eddie Cortez, brings him down. It's going to be about a 3-yard gain as his knees were down and he tried to stretch the ball out. And they're going to take those 2 not going to give him those 2 yards of stretch. So decent job by the Knights there to prevent him from getting a big play as he steps up into the pocket and takes off. Play clock down to about 9 seconds as Burkett breaks the huddle.
3 receivers to the right, to the left. Quick throw on that back pattern and brought down immediately by Logan Gilbert. But completes out to the 23-yard line. It's going to come up just a little bit short of the first down marker, third down and very short.
TJ Dykstra, the receiver.
Six-yard gain.
Third down and a yard at the most. This is 4-down territory, clearly. But we've got 10 seconds left in the third quarter, and so the Trojans don't have to run a play. The play clock has more time on it than the game clock does. So we're going to get to the fourth quarter here. The Knights have a narrow 27-21 lead, but the Meridian Trojans are on the move near the red zone. Third down and short. We're going to take a quick break and be back for this final fourth quarter. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
My name is Chris Culbertson. I own Colby's Greenhouse. We grow 3 to 4 million plants a year. We put 1 million miles a year on our rigs. We service a dozen farm vehicles. I've been a good Napa customer. This is the first business truck that I ever bought, so it's had a lot of Napa parts. One thing I like about my local Napa store, I just call them up and say, hey, they know who I am. I would recommend that anyone shop at Napa. Great prices, great availability, excellent warranty. Napa's the one for us.
Napa, get the good stuff.
It's your family road trip, your limousine, your business. It's what you drive. Take care of it at Point S Tire and Auto Service. For tires and expert service you can trust. Get to the point. Point S, expert service guaranteed.
Snap Raise guarantees the fundraising results you need so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more.
Fourth quarter will begin. We'll switch sides of the field. Meridian will head from our right to left. They have a third down and very short from the Knight 23-yard line. Burkett takes the shotgun snap, steps up and throws it deep to the far side. Logan Gilbert, great coverage all the way down and knocks the ball down.
Intended for Hemingway, number 21. And again, they're going to try to pick on the new guy as Logan Gilbert had to go off for a play right before the end of the quarter because his helmet came off. And but he comes right back in. It was, interestingly enough, it was Juan Ojeda that came in and spelled him for that one play. But Logan Gilbert's right back in there. Fourth down and 1, so it's still 4-down territory. They've only got to pick up 1 yard here to keep this drive alive. It was a good idea for them to go for broke to the corner of the end zone. But now all they got to do is pick up 1 yard here.
Burkett has Roberts to his left, who will now vacate out to the right side. Burkett stands Tries to break
empty.
forward, and he's going to get
the first
forward.
down.
He's going to get it just to the 20-yard line. He's going to get it in a couple more.
Don't give him that stretch. Don't give him that stretch. His knees are down.
They're marking right at the 20, but that's good enough for a 1st and 10.
You know what? A lot of times with an athletic quarterback like that and they go empty, that's what their plan is, to do a little pump fake and then let that quarterback use his feet to pick up that 1 yard. He picks up more than the 1 yard. Ball is going to be spotted centered between the hashes, nose of the ball right on the 20-yard line. We're into the 4th quarter, 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. The Knights hold on to a narrow 6-point margin.
Burkett rolls out to his left, lets it go down to the far side, and they're going to call pass interference. As the receivers just ran into each other, and that's going to move that ball down near.
It's going to be half the distance. It'll move it to the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
For Lucas
and give him should give him a 1st down as well. As they got tangled up, and it's like the defensive back for the Knights is going to be the guilty party.
That's going to be a pass interference, which will be called against the Royal Knights.
That will be a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
I would not want to be Eddie Lopez coming off the sideline right now.
I'm not sure. There was some.
Buddy.
There was some exchanges.
Jack Diaz into the game. 1st down and goal. No. 1st down and 10. Looks like they're just outside the 10-yard line.
So they can get to the half. No, they are going to set it up. So it'll just, you can get a 1st down just short of the goal line. Burkett.
Pressure's coming.
Boy, he still avoids it.
He's going to score.
Incredible, and he's going to score. He is one elusive quarterback, and he uses his feet to his advantage and scampers in untouched to tie this game up. And all they need now is an extra point to extend their 1st lead. $11:20 left to go in the game. And Taylor Snook on to attempt the extra point. Now he has missed one earlier today. They went for 2 later and made that up. Good snap, and that extra point is up and
no good. Game is tied.
Game is tied.
Wow.
Holy cow. We are in for a showdown for the last 11:20. Tied up. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Hard work, determination, team spirit. These are all qualities that put a winning team on the field. And the folks at Saddle Mountain Supply know something about a winning team. For over 30 years, Saddle Mountain Supply has worked hard to provide the highest level of service to the local community. They are determined to offer the best quality products at competitive prices. And they boast one of the top teams in the ag industry, ready to offer a helping hand or timely assistance. From bookwork to fieldwork, from accurate applications to reliable recommendations, Saddle Mountain Supply is committed to using the latest in technology and training to attend all your agronomic needs. Check out our website at www.performanceag.com for the latest in industry trends and market prices. Saddle Mountain Supply at performanceag.com. Quality you can count on, performance you can plan on.
Well, we're back.
Yeah, Meridian will kick off on their own 40. 11:20 left to go, all tied up after the missed extra point. We have the makings of a classic here, Mike.
Well, it's, yeah. Snook sets the ball up right between the hashes to kick the ball off. It's going to be Farias and Myrick back deep, but don't be surprised by anything.
A weird punch. There it is. Get on it. They got on it.
It was 33, Dylan Hickok coming after it on a little pooch onside kick kind of a thing. C.J. Quintero is the one that grabs it, secures it as Hickok goes over the top of him as he goes to the ground to get really good field position for the Knights. They're going to have the ball on their own 38-yard line with 11 minutes and 17 seconds left. This game's all knotted up. Now, the Knights' running game has been superlative in the last little while, and they're not in a hurry here. So we'll see what the offensive game plan calls for.
Jenks in shotgun. Myrick on his right hip. Looking to throw across the middle. It's Myrick open at the 40 into Meridian territory all the way down to the 39-yard line. It's that same play that he made earlier right up the seam, and he gets all the way to the 39-yard line of Meridian. Big play.
23-yard gain.
23-yard gain.
You know, their kicker has an uncanny way of sandwedging that ball. Full leg swing, and then the ball goes nowhere. It's a kind of interesting. He's done it twice.
2 catches for 44 yards for Myrick out of the backfield. This time it'll be Hernandez in the backfield next to Jenks.
Jenks this time to give to Hernandez. Follows his blockers up, steps in and out, and gets knocked down about the 35-yard line. But it's good enough for a 4-yard gain.
That puts him over 100 yards, 15 carries for 103. And just protect that ball and keep grinding it out every time they put it in his hands. Picking up 4 yards at a time. You win a lot of ball games 4 yards at a time. Knights have time to be patient here. Do what's been working.
2 receivers near side to the right. Jenks remaining shotgun. The play action to Myrick. He has to throw it quick, and it's too quick, and it's picked off by number 61. And he gets cut down by Sawyer Jenks and returns it back to about the 45-yard line. Jenks had to let that go just a little bit before he wanted to. And Myrick had not turned around yet to even try to make a defensive play on that. 61, Manny Sabalza steps up and returns that to the 43-yard line. And a big turnover.
First interception thrown by Jenks, only his 5th on the season. Really would have been wise to maybe just fling that ball out of bounds or eat it and pick up whatever yards he could, because it gives the Trojans the ball in Knight territory down to the Knight 43-yard line in the right hash. 10 minutes left in the game.
2 receivers left and right. Burkett has all day. They're getting held like crazy, and it gets played on. Logan Gilbert went for the interception and got his hand on it, knocks it away, falls incomplete. I just feel like the line is
the Knights defense up front is trying to be a little more controlled here. They're trying not to let Burkett use his feet. I think that they are hoping that they can control the pressure on him and that the defensive backs for the Knights
will make a play.
Can make some plays.
9:57 left to go in the game, all tied up. 2nd down and 10. Here comes some pressure. He has to step up, and he lets the ball go far on this side. It's going to go way over his intended receiver, as he had to quickly throw that before he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Attempted for Galliano, and again for Logan Gilbert in coverage. Had great coverage, and the ball was just overthrown a little bit anyways. You're right. He was right near the line of scrimmage when he let that ball go. Now, remember, you have to be all the way across your entire body past the line of scrimmage. We had some issues with that in some games with Caden as a quarterback the last couple years, where he was right at the edge of the line of scrimmage. All you got to do is have one heel kind of hanging behind the line, and it's okay. 3rd down and 10, though, after 2 incompletions by Burkett.
Roberts again motions out of the backfield, leaving Burkett by himself. Quick throws out to Roberts, controlled well by Corbin Christensen.
Takes him out of bounds for about a
2-yard gain.
I think they're only going to give him about a yard, maybe 2. Maybe 2. Corbin's going to have the stop, and it's going to bring up 4th down, but it should be 4-down territory. They're actually going to give him
they give
3.
him near the 40-yard line.
That's a front. Yeah.
So 4th and 7. 9:43 left to go in this game.
Yeah.
Big 4th down play here for Meridian and for the Knights.
Somebody's going to have to score to win this game, as it's all knotted up at 27. And this is in no man's land. You're not going to punt this, and you're not going to kick a field goal. It's 4th down and 7. They're going to go for it.
Burkett's going to roll out to his left. Here comes pressure by Isaac Ellis, and they're going to fall down. No play, no call. They're trying to say that there was pass interference. No flags down, and they're not going to get it.
Oh, he's going to get a penalty, a 15-yard penalty against the Trojans. Number 89, Galliano, didn't like the fact that his legs got tangled up with Logan Gilbert. No call. They're going to say that their legs just got tangled up, that there was nothing intentional there.
Yeah, and I didn't see it.
That could be the case.
I just saw they were on the ground, so I don't know.
Just because your legs get tangled up doesn't mean that it's a pass interference play. And so that's what the official ruled. And then Galliano, really outside of characteristic of a Bob Ames coach team, comes right at the official and throws his fist in the air at him. They bring him off the field, but then put him right back on. I don't know about that, but it's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, so it's going to move the ball down inside the 50 to maybe about the 45-yard line of the Trojans for the Knights. And if that ends up being a difference maker in the game, Galliano's going to have a hard time digesting that. He's just a sophomore.
1st and 10 for the Knights on the Trojan 44-yard line. Change that down marker. There you go.
Yeah, that's wow.
Big turn of events there as the Knights have the ball on the Trojan 44-yard line. 3 receivers near side to the right.
Knights have to capitalize on it. Myrick's going to be in the backfield to the left of Jinx.
Jinx will stay in shotgun. Long count. This time to give to Myrick, who the play just took too long to develop, and they're going to drop him for a couple yards loss. There was almost confusion on that play, as though between Sawyer and Lorenzo, they couldn't quite figure out which way it was supposed to be.
Cole Roberts on the defensive line, looks like he doesn't belong there, but it's his quickness that keeps him there. He's the one that gets in the backfield and makes that tackle for a loss.
2nd down and 12, 9-10 left to go in the game, all tied up at 27.
Myrick stays in the game at running back.
He's set up to the right side of Jenks. Takes that shotgun snap, throws it to Corbin Christensen. He's open. He's caught down to the 30. He's still on his feet, rolling down, secures the ball inside the 30, down into the 25, even down to the 22-yard line. Big pass, big catch, and a big run by Corbin on that play.
24 yards on that one.
8:51 left to go in the game.
22-yard line. 1st down, Royal.
That's 8 catches for 89 yards. Poor Christensen does a nice job staying in bounds and picking up yards after the catch.
Same formation. This time to give to Myrick up the center. He breaks to the outside, still on his feet, securing that ball. Is going to get inside the 10-yard line too. Just inside the 10. It's going to set up a 1st and goal with the ball just inside the 10-yard line. What is that, a 13, 12-yard gain?
12-yard gain. So the ball is inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st down and goal for the Knights. Ball centered between the hashes. 8 minutes and 32 seconds left in the contest. Currently tied 27-27 after some drama for both teams on extra points.
Just inside the 10.
I formation this time for Jenks under center. Lead play on the left side. Hernandez puts his shoulders down.
Forward.
Gets to about the 7-yard line.
Alonso Hernandez right gap.
So a near 3-yard gain. 1st and goal from the 7. 8:20 left to go and counting.
Manny Sabalza and Dawson Logan, the tacklers. Gain of 3. 2nd and goal from the 7.
Jinx gets the play call from Coach Allred, gets into the huddle. They'll get in and out of the huddle with about 15 seconds left on the play clock. Clock ticking under 8 minutes left in the game. I formation for the Knights.
Double tight. Right up the left side. Hernandez still on his feet inside the 5. Just inside the 5. Bring up a 3rd down and goal right from the 5 as the Knights trying to get this in on the ground.
3rd and goal from the 5.
Going to pick up 2 yards there. Just inside the 5. But not to the 4. Knights need to be quick in and out of the huddle here, as there'll be only about 10 seconds left on the play clock once they get to the line of scrimmage.
7:15 left to go in the game. Knights line up in straight I formation. Jinx under center.
Might see a jump ball throw here on play action.
And you do. And it's knocked away. Well played by number 21, Hemingway.
A lot of contact. No, that was Galliano.
It is Galliano.
A lot of contact there.
In the end zone by number 89, Kevin Galliano.
But not to either one's advantage as deemed by the officials. So it's still going to be from the 5-yard line, but it'll be 4th down.
No field goal team coming on.
And the field goal team's not coming on. Coach Allred's going to go for it here. Feels like a touchdown would be the order of the day. We'll see what they've dialed up. With 7 minutes and 4 seconds left in the game.
3 receivers set wide to the right. Hernandez in to the right hip of Jinx in shotgun. They're looking to throw, and the flag's going to fly. That's probably going to be a false start.
Flag thrown.
And it is a false start, so instead of on the 5, it'll be outside at the 10.
Coaching staff for the Knights have to be rethinking what they want to do here. Not that they're going to change necessarily, but nope, I'm clueless. They're going to pull Jinx over and make a new play call. They're going to have to score from 10 yards out. 4th down and goal.
7:03 left to go in the game.
Not the end of the world necessarily. It gives a little bit more space for the receivers to work in.
Here we go. 3 receivers set wide to the left. Jenks in shotgun with Hernandez to his left. Good snap. Rolls to his left. Buying some time. And, you got to call pass interference. Are you kidding me? Wow. And then 2 controversial pass interference, no calls, result in a turnover and downs. Meridian will have the ball on their own 10-yard line.
Tried to hit Corbin Christensen in the front left corner of the end zone. Again, there was contact, no flag thrown. Like I said, just because there's contact doesn't mean there was pass interference, but we're 70 yards away. We're pretty sure there was pass interference.
Well, I'd have to see
some jostling for sure.
What was better is that Galliano didn't stay on his feet, pick that thing and run it 100 yards back. So they have the ball on their own 10-yard line, headed from our right to left. Spread receivers wide left and right. And he's all
They're going to get him.
They're going to get him all the way back on the 2-yard line, and Burkett had nowhere to run. As Alonzo Hernandez kind of delayed his rush, and then he came, and it's going to be all the way back. They're going to mark it at the 3.
Wow. I'm not sure. They gave him some forward progress.
2nd and 17.
That I thought he got contacted inside the 2, but they're going to give him forward progress to the 3. That was well done. They folded the pocket in around him, and then Hernandez came in like a heat-seeking missile. When he had nowhere to go, he turned upfield, and Hernandez was in his face for the 7-yard loss. Trojans are going to break the huddle with about 8 seconds left in the play clock. They're going to run trips out to the left.
Near side to the left as the flag flies.
Is it a flag?
I think they get a timeout call. Timeout's called. We'll take one as well. 6:10 left to go in this game. All tied up. 27. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Mud, no problem. Bugs, no problem. Nasty road salt, no problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the Knights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the Dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Trunk Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
Appropriate song here as we've got a heavyweight slug out going here. 27-27. 6:10 left to go in this game. Meridian has a second down and about 17.
Burkett will set up in his own end zone.
Roberts out to his left. He's got to get out, and he does, and he's on his feet still outside the 10, all the way out to the 15, 16.
Ball comes loose, but they're going to say he was down.
Out to the 17.
This ball to the 17-yard line.
And that kid just turned disaster into.
Yeah, but we got to know that. We got to know that.
But you still have to make the play on your feet, and so he's as I said before, with an average quarterback, I think we have this game a little more in control.
With an average quarterback, we're up by 5 touchdowns right now.
And
this is not an average quarterback in his athleticism.
Has really showed why he's a special player. As a 3rd down and about 3 coming up, Burkett waits, gets flushed out to the right.
There should be a hold. I don't think they're going to call it.
Still on his feet, and he's going to get brought down back inside the 10.
Big play by number 43, Jack Diaz. It's going to be a loss of about 7 yards, maybe 8 yards, and it's going to bring up 4th down and long. So huge play by Jack Diaz. And, boy, it just seems like there's a lot of...
They're letting the line.
They're letting the line
play. Which really,
I guess.
On a lot of circumstances, there can be holding called on every offensive line. Your hands are in tight. You got hands on jersey. But big play by Jack Diaz brings up a 4th down and long. They're going to be forced to bring the punt team on.
Tight punt formation. Burkett's the punter, and he is going to punt, and he's going to punt. He's going to kick it to Farias. He's going to get it on his
45-yard line. He's on the far yard. He's got a block wall set up. He gets one away from one, steps inside another, but he has to come inside the wall, so they're going to stop him about on the 36-yard line.
Hickok
he had to go from the right side.
Yeah. Hickok tried to strip the ball out as he was being tackled, but Farias was able to hold on to it strong. They've got great field position. They're going to be on there on the left hash, down in the Meridian territory, down to the 36-yard line. Again, 4 minutes and 39 seconds left. This game's all tied up after a big play by Jack Diaz sacked Burkett on 3rd and about 5. Forces them to punt. The Knights need to convert here. Again, they've got time.
Jenks and shotgun. Hernandez to his right. They will give it to him. He breaks up the middle, goes to the outside, but he has hands around. He still puts his shoulder down. He's going to get 5 yards more from the original hit where I thought he was going to get brought down. He's able to turn that into a run all the way down to the 29-yard line, a 7-yard run.
That's 18 carries for 115 yards, so he's over the 100-yard mark. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns. And I think you got to force the Trojans to stop that. And then that sets up some pretty nice play action. He's going to get a break. Myrick's going to come in next to Jenks in shotgun.
Takes that snap. Quick throw to Corbin Christensen on the outside. First down inside the 20. Going to get brought down right about the 19 or 18.
Number 14.
Ball's at the 29.
Good play call and a good execution there by the quarterback and the receiver. They'll mark it right at the 19.
19, going to be a 10-yard gain.
First down to the 14-yard line.
First and 10 for the Knights. Ball on the far hash. 3:53 left to go in the game. Still all tied up at 27.
That's 9 catches for 99 yards for Corbin Christensen. And lately, a lot of the damage has been on that quick out pass where he's been able to turn upfield and pick up a few more yards.
Myrick in the game. The give to him. He turns upfield up the middle. Still has his hands around that ball. He's really protecting that ball inside the 15 to the 14-yard line.
At least 4. As one thing about Myrick is once he puts his foot in the ground and decides where he's going to go, he's explosive through that hole. Even though he's not a real big guy, only listed at 5'9", 165 pounds. We're going to give him a 4-yard gain on that one. He doesn't have a lot of carries, but they've been effective. Going to be an I formation here for the Knights.
Jenks under center. The give to Hernandez follows his blockers, still on his feet inside the 10 all the way down to the 7-yard line.
He's going to get the first
down, and we'll have a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line for the Knights.
From the 14 down to the 7, going to be a 7-yard gain.
Dawson Logan's helmet comes off. He's going to have to take a play off.
They're going to send another guy in, number 4, Jake Cheney. And he's a guy that I don't think has seen the field much. We'll see if the Knights recognize that or if there's a reason to try to
too quick. I formation in the backfield. Tight ends on both sides. Jenks will step under center. The hand to Hernandez. Follows those big blockers on the cross. He's still on his feet. Reaches out. What are they going to give it? They're going to say touchdown, Alonzo Hernandez.
From 7 yards out.
As he reached out, as they end and punch that ball just over the plane of the goal line. And the Knights are going to score here with 2:32 left to go in this game. And the extra point looms large now.
Yes, it does. That's a 3rd touchdown on the night for Alonzo Hernandez. He came into the game with 16 rushing touchdowns. He's got 19 so far.
Guerrero kicks that extra point and it stumbles off the block. I think it almost fell off the block. And so now, as I said, it looms large. It looms tremendously large as the Knights have a 6-point lead with 2:32 left to go in the game. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com. almost like that ball came off the tee on that extra point attempt as it gets just drilled into the line. It leaves the score at 33 for the Knights, 27 for Meridian, a 6-point lead for the Knights with 2:32 left to go in the game. The Knights defense.
The Knights have all 3 timeouts. Meridian Trojans only have 1. We'll see if that comes into play at all. There's been almost no running the ball the entire game for the Trojans, except for design runs or creative runs by the quarterback, Burkett.
High kick taken just inside the 10-yard line, straight up the middle, breaks to the outside, and we got penalty marker down, and that'll be coming back as the ball. He steps out of bounds eventually up at the 42-yard line, but
penalty marker is going to be on about the 21, about the 20. They're going to move it out to about the 25-yard line is where the penalty marker is going to be thrown. So it'll be a 10-yard penalty, moving back to the 15-yard line. Again, 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in the game. The Knights just scored a touchdown, the 3rd rushing touchdown for Alonzo Hernandez, makes it 33-27, and a botched extra point attempt. It looked like the ball came off the tee. And Oswaldo Guerrero wasn't able to kick it through. So here we are. Burkett with 1 timeout and 2 minutes and 23 seconds left from their own 15-yard line. Ball's going to be on the right hash. Knights defense has done a little bit better the last few drives as far as coverage on the back end and as far as kind of a little bit of controlled pressure on Burkett, trying to keep him in the pocket. There's been a couple big sacks on the last drive that forced them to punt. You got to figure that everywhere on the field at this point is 4-down territory, considering the time and the score. So that's the game situation that we're in.
Ball placed on the 15-yard line. They will blow the whistle, ready for a play. 2:23 left to go as Burkett takes that shotgun snap, throws it deep down this side. And Farias is there and just comes off the hands of Vanden Hauck as he was able to get hands on it but not able to secure it.
Those guys have done battle all day long. And Vanden Hauck is fast. And Farias has stayed with him step for step. And that was a 45, 50-yard pass by Burkett that falls to the turf. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. I wouldn't be surprised to see a design quarterback keep here. Hopefully the Knights won't be surprised by it either.
2:16 left to go. 2nd and 10. Burkett does keep it up the center, and the ball comes out.
Loose.
Ball comes out, and the Knights are going to get it. Knights recover the ball on the 22-yard line. Big play. Burkett trying to do it all and kind of having to do it all, and he ran forward for that play, and the ball came punching out. I didn't see who punched it out.
I'd love to give credit to whoever punched it out. I didn't see who punched it out. CJ Quintero's down on the field. Down on the field right now. The athletic trainers are out to him.
He's sitting up. I think just
is there a chance he's the one that punched it out? I would love to give credit to whoever punched that out. It just bounces forward, and the Knights fall on it. They're going to have the ball from the Trojans' 22-yard line, and they have a 6-point lead and 3 timeouts. The Trojans only have 1 timeout. The Knights need to run this clock out. Their running game has been stout. And they're going to bring in number 50, Javier Hutron, and he's going to line up in the backfield as a fullback. Jinx gets the play call from Coach Allred. I'm predicting run.
Yeah. And you're predicting running that clock as long as you can.
Yeah.
2:09 left to go in the game. Knights have a 33-27 lead, a 6-point lead, but have the ball after the turnover on the 22-yard line of Meridian. The give to Hernandez, puts his shoulder down, gets to the 20.
Just going to pick up.
Quickly, they're going to use their timeout as Meridian's going to take that last timeout with 2:05 left to go in the game. We'll take a quick break, too. You're listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.
Your day means getting from point A to point B, as in bank or ballet. G for gym, W for work. When what you drive needs tires or service, get to Point S, Tire and Auto, a trusted neighbor with the right tires for how and where you drive, and certified techs to take care of what you drive. So you get to all the points in your day and home again safely. Get to the point. Point S Tire and Auto Service. Expert service guaranteed.
Sorry, Dad.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. Because as long as Mr. It wasn't my fault takes the wheel on occasion, maintaining this car is your best option. So keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Coming out of that timeout with the 2nd down and 8 for the Knights on the 20-yard line of Meridian. Straight I formation in the backfield. Giving the left side to Hernandez, who's going to get down to about the 17. Under 2 minutes now as the Knights.
So he picks up another 3 yards.
Meridian has no more timeouts. The Knights will use all the time that they can,
but they
hopefully try to score.
They do need to get a first down.
They do need to get a first down for sure.
They need to get a first down because they won't be able to run the clock out unless they get a first down. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 here from the 18-yard line.
Play clock down to 10. Straight I formation. Jenks will wait till that clock gets right down under 5 and take that snap. The give to Hernandez right up the middle, and he's going to get to about the 15, and he's not going to quite get it. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and we've got a hurt player. And I hope he's hurt.
They're going to spot the ball on the 15-yard line.
By saying I hope he's hurt, I hope it's not one of those. Well, he's got to come out now.
Yeah.
33, where his ankles, he's definitely hurt. So that's
2-yard gain.
33.
It's going to bring up 4th down and 3. There's 1 minute and 7 seconds left. It was a running play. So when the official blows the ball back in, both clocks will start. The 25-second play clock. There's 1 minute and 7 left on the game clock. So the Knights will have to snap the ball with about 45 seconds or so. I would suspect they'll snap the ball with about 45 seconds or so. 4th down and 3. If they pick up the first down, the game's over. If they don't pick up the first down, then the Trojans will get the ball with probably, it looks like the Knights are going to take the timeout. They're going to take the timeout. They call it a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock. Allows them to maximize what's taken off of the game clock. We're going to have 43 seconds left in the game clock. 4th down and 3 for the Knights. We're just going to stay here. We're just going to stay here.
It's premature to talk about the outcome of this game, but it's not too premature to talk about some of the outstanding performances we see. Let's start with Meridian. Obviously, Simon Burkett has shown his wares in this game today.
Yeah, Simon Burkett, and then you got to look at Vandenhoek, who through the 3rd quarter had 6 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown. Dawson Logan also 3 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. He had that 55-yard breakaway. And so, it's all been the passing game. The running game has been almost non-existent for the Trojans. And they do running back by committee. But Burkett's the only one with a carry outside of 3 other total carries.
For the Knights, you got to talk about Alonzo Hernandez.
Yeah, Alonzo unofficially 23 carries, 136 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I've lost track of Sawyer's passing stats, to be honest with you, but I do know that Corbin Christensen has caught 9 for 99 yards.
Big play, and thrown one for a touchdown.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Here comes the lead play, either to the left or right, and it's to the left. Hernandez puts his shoulder down, and he gets
a little
pushed.
Extra
we
surge.
Get a little bit of a
push.
They're going to put
be
it right
really
down
close,
at the
guys.
12, and we're going to see where they mark it. They're going to come right in there and drop that
really
ball.
Close.
I think it's going to come up just a hair short when it's all said and done.
It's not as good of a spot as I thought they might give.
And it is.
Yeah.
A little bit short. For 38 seconds left. Meridian's going to have the ball, and anything could happen, folks, with that 6-point lead and Simon Burkett as your quarterback.
Now, they have no timeouts, so incomplete passes stop the clock. Complete passes don't stop the clock unless they get out of bounds. If he chooses to scramble, that's going to keep the clock rolling. So I would try to contain him and not let him get out of the pocket, not let him scramble, with the danger that he can be with his feet. But if he does choose to, then that's going to use clock. We got 38 seconds left. The play clock's down to about 7.
Receivers on left and right. Burkett goes out. He's got the man. He throws, and is it caught?
Incomplete.
Incomplete. Goes to the turf as Lorenzo Myrick in.
Pass intended for.
It's number 21.
Hemingway was the intended target.
But Lorenzo Myrick in coverage and knocks that out.
Just uses 5 seconds of game clock, 32 seconds left. Second down and 10. Ball centered on the 13-yard line. Again, no timeouts left for the Trojans. The Knights have 2, but that's inconsequential at this point.
3 receivers set wide to the right, trips right.
Roberts. They got to get out there. They don't have enough guys on the left side. There
Roberts
they go.
Right.
It's going to be setting up a double pass here.
They're looking for that. They can't. They try to throw it there, and it's going to get caught by
Burkett.
But he's going to get stopped right about the 19-yard line. It's going to come up short.
And the clock still runs, and they have no timeouts. C.J. Quintero brings him down. Are they going to stop the clock for an injured player? I don't know how that works. Vandenhoek rolling around back there.
He's got to come out.
Is there a penalty marker?
So the clock is stopped at 17 seconds.
Lineman downfield. I wondered about that.
Yep.
I wondered about that.
I wondered about it too because I was going, who's he going to throw it to? Is what I was saying.
He had
who's
some guys. He had some guys running free out here. When I looked down, their numbers were lineman numbers, and even on the double pass, the second pass downfield can't have linemen downfield. Even though the first pass was behind the line of scrimmage, the second pass beyond the line of scrimmage cannot have linemen downfield. And there was number 71 and at least one other one that were.
Remember, folks, 6-point lead, 17 seconds left. Stay close. And here we go. Whistle's blown. Burkett has Roberts to his right. He's going to step back and look to throw down the middle far. There's a man there. Does he catch it? He catches it all the way out at the 47-yard line. Is that Dawson?
Dawson Logan catches the ball. They're going to put it on the 46-yard line. Maybe the 47 is going to be first down. He's slow to get up. There's 7 seconds left. And so the way this works is they should. Now with an injury, they've got an injury on every player and every play, and that's once they start once they set the ball. Normally, once they set the ball, the clock would start, and they'd have to get up in the hurry and clock the ball. But now with another injury, they've had an injury on each of the last 3 plays at least. With another injury on this, then they're going to have a little more time to get settled in. The clock will start as soon as the official starts the play clock. There's 7 seconds left on the clock. Great catch by Dawson Logan. Let's talk about that. That was a great catch.
He extended out, and that's why he was injured. They're working on it as though he's got cramps, which he probably does. These kids, they've been working hard on both teams.
This sounds rude to me, but a real injury, let's deal with it. If it's a cramp, let's drag him off and get the game going. It's giving them too much time to regroup here.
Well, it takes me back years ago to the Zilla game when the same thing was happening. The Knights had given their all, and we had a Knight player, and a Zilla fan yelled out, "Get him off the field!" Just about started a riot. As they're going to get Logan Dawson up and off the field with 7 seconds left to go.
Of course, if he gets up and jogs off the field like he's about to, I have less empathy.
But it puts them in a position to Hail Mary this thing and cause real trouble.
He certainly has the arm to throw the ball the 55 yards he would need to.
Trips out to the right. Here goes the last play of the game as Burkett will roll out to his right, and he's going to chuck it far and see what happens. Vandenhoek's down there, and he pulls him back. They'll have to. That's the way it's going to end. They're not going to throw the flag, and the falls down.
They don't need to.
They don't need to as the Knights knock it down, and the Knights had to work for this one, guys.
Yeah, Corbin Christensen was in great position to intercept that, and the Trojan receiver reached up and grabbed him by the back of his jersey and pulled him down to prevent him from intercepting it. But that doesn't matter. They didn't need to intercept it. All they needed to do was make sure that it wasn't a completion, and the Knights the
2 best teams in 1A just played this game right here.
Absolutely.
The Knights are going to win this game 33-27. We're going to have to quickly talk about players of the game. It's either between Corbin Christensen or Alonzo Hernandez in my mind, as those both had beasts of games. And I'm not sure it really matters.
Corbin had an interception.
He had an interception, he had a pass for a touchdown, and he had 9 or 10 receptions for a lot of yards.
I don't know.
Without Alonzo Hernandez running that ball, I don't know how you do. And
here's what we do.
Co-players.
Corbin's a senior.
Let's give it to him, and let's tell Alonzo that he's got to get it next year. Hey, a great game. This was exciting, and the Knights secure their 8th state championship and their 41st win in a row. which they'll take into next year. All the props in the world to Bob Ames and his Meridian Trojans, who took a 35-member team and pushed the Royal Knights to the very end.
To the very edge.
Knights win this state championship 2017 by a score of 33-27. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next year. You're listening to and have been listening to RoyalKnightsFootball.com.